Hey there, kids. It's me, Oni the Unicorn. And I'm here to tell you that f***ing your dreams ain't cheap. In fact, it costs a ton of cash to do. So that's why me and the Oh No Radio Show need your help. Just go to the website displayed below and hit us up with some cash, yo. $1, $5, $1 million if you have it to spare. Any amount is appreciated. Well, I gotta go because these dreams ain't gonna fuck themselves. See ya!
No, 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 no.
No! God, please, no!
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no. Oh hell no.
You are listening to the Oh No Radio Show.
Eat a bag of dicks.
Are you the same dude as that other dude that was here the other week? Or is that a different dude? Or, I don't know. Are you the same guy?
Oh no, baby. Oh no. Oh no.
I don't want you anymore. Yes, baby, I told you before. You went away and you said you left me. And now you live in misery. Although you want me to take you back. You said you're sad about this and that. Oh no!
Oh no!
That's right. Welcome to another Ono Radio Show. My name is Owen. I'm the captain of your shit ship. I've been known to have some teeth issues. Along with me tonight is the one and only Mikey B, and he has also been known to have some teeth issues.
Just a few.
Yeah. So I don't know. Did you weren't on the show last week, Mike? But did you hear me complaining to Ty about my teeths?
I did not, but I thought I was on the second half.
So you're
No.
telling me that you did not listen to the show that you missed?
I mean, yeah, I did, but you did. I mean, you bitched about your teeth and how they ate dicks.
Yeah.
Um,
And I was
you know.
worried. Right? I was like, oh, this thing's. They're gonna have to pull this tooth from my head. They're gonna have to maybe do a root canal, something of that, nature.
Oh no!
Well, I gotta tell you, I go into the dentist on Tuesday because they were closed because of Labor Day. So I go in on.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? I was saying the same thing. My tooths, they don't worry about your labors.
I don't know.
My tooth didn't know about the labor hardships
Yeah.
of the early 1920s to
Yeah.
appreciate this day.
Exactly. But anyway, so I get it on the Tuesday, 8 o'clock, first appointment of the day, Mikey. I'm the first guy in.
Numero uno.
Mm-hmm. And so I tell them, like, it's like, what brings you here today? I'm like, well, I've been having a bit of pain. It's going through my jaw. It's kind of shooting up. I'm getting kind of headaches from this. I'm worried I have an infected tooth. I don't know if this is like a root canal or extraction scenario, but I need you to take a look, right? So so they do the X-ray, gimmick, right? Where they put the shit in your mouth and they shoot the little gun thing at it, and they get the X-rays. And Dr. Man comes in, and he's like, "What's up, man? By the way, how do you feel about dentists or doctors giving you fist bumps?"
I had a chiropractor who did it once, and I was like, all right, well, we're kind of young. Like, we're both kind of young dudes.
Yeah, and same. I might be about the same age as this dentist, but there's something. I just felt it was very unprofessional, But it also put me at ease. Like, oh, this guy's the cool. Like, I don't know how to feel about it. It's like he's trying to put me at ease. Like, I'm the cool dentist. Don't worry about it, man. Like, everything's gonna be fine. Like,
I'm the bro dentist.
Yeah, he's the bro dentist. Like, he's trying to do that.
He's got puka shells and like.
And he is kind of a bro. I'm not gonna lie. He's kind of a bro. Like,
he's got an acoustic guitar on the wall, and if he sees that you're nervous, he'll pull it down. He's like, "Hey, man, how about we just jam it for a minute? Like, that'll help you."
Bud Lights and college football on the weekends for sure. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like, so that's so I'm like, okay, like that's my first reaction. I still don't know how I feel about it because it does put me at ease, but I also feel it's a little unprofessional. Your thoughts?
Again, I think it's totally okay. Now, if my 50-year-old doctor is like,
oh yeah,
oh hey, what's up, Mike? See, you're having a little problem with the tooth. Why don't you dap me up here real quick? And
yeah.
Oop, no, respect. I understand.
So all of like 4 minutes have gone by between X-rays taken, dentist looking at X-rays, coming in, being like, let's see what we have here, and then like, I guess he's like now inspecting him. He's like, and there's nothing wrong. He's like, yeah. He's like, you got a bit of a like your wisdom teeth, but they've kind of grown in. They've settled now. Like I could see how maybe like the impaction of those could like possibly be giving you some like intermittent pain. Like he did say kind of that. And but he's like, you haven't had a cleaning in 3 years, which I hadn't, right? And
they love to blame it on the. They're like, you know what? What you probably need is more cleanings. You probably should be in here every month. 2 months?
No, well, I got to do like the deep. I'll talk about this in a second. But then he's like, and you also clearly grind your teeth at night. Like that is probably you're having like a jaw grinding issue, which I think is causing your headaches. I suggest you get a mouth guard, and then we come up like, so I'm like, no cavities, no infection. He's like, no, there's some inflammation from the lack of cleaning. But ultimately, like, no, you're not dying because of like a rotten tooth or something, right? So that was, of course, a relief. But like, what about the headaches then, right? Like, so it's like, okay, I get the deep cleaning, which, by the way, that was actually quite painful, like the deep cleaning, right? So I get that done, and then they're just like, yep, see you on your way. And my insurance paid for everything, so I was able to walk out the door, but it was still just like, okay, well, like, how about the headaches? 2 nights with the goddamn fucking goofy ass mouth guard thing, and I already feel so much better because it's like realigning my back molars and my jaw or something. Like, so it's like it's not putting this pressure. It's like, yeah, okay, maybe that's all I needed the whole goddamn time was this. So I'm not grinding my teeth as much, and it's like all that. But the doctor did say with this mouth guard thing, they're like, so, you can try the over the counter, buy your own mouth guard type thing, or we do.
We don't suggest it.
Or we don't suggest that, but we do a professional mouth guard where we take
you
your
do.
indentations and it's like a different material. It'll feel a lot better in your mouth. And so I asked, okay, I already know, like in my back of my mind, I'm like, I'm doing the home thing, right? Like I know I'm not doing, but I'm like, just curious, like, what does that usually cost? $680.
Whoa!
Like,
Ooh,
yeah, so we're not gonna do that.
stinger.
We're not gonna do that today. We're not doing that one. I went on Amazon and found like 3 different types just to try out for less than $50. And the first one, I'm like, yeah, this ain't that bad. I haven't even tried the second one yet, which is the one that you remember when you were a kid and you made a mouth guard for like football practice or whatever it was. Like for me, it was hockey practice. You boil, you measure it almost, you cut it, and you try and get a nice line on your mouth guard. It's like the same exact type of thing, and then you boil it in water, and then you kind of do the impression. Do you remember that?
No, because I did not play sports as
Not even a one? You didn't ever even have to get a mouth guard made?
Mm-mm. We didn't have to get mouth guards for robotics.
Damn.
And we didn't have to get it for Boy Scouts. No mouth guards in Boy Scouts.
I mean, hockey. We had to get the mouth guards done and the mouth guards made, and it's like, but it's a thing. I think a lot of people grew up. If you played any sort of sport and you're about our age, you will have had your parents in the early '90s do this, right? Like you
boiling mouth guards and doing it. So now I'm back at that age, I guess, at 38, where I got to boil a mouth guard again. That's pretty sick, though. I mean,
and now, dude, here's where I felt like, oh man, my life's falling apart. Like I could handle that, but here's what the thing was. Like with the mouth guard kit that you use with the boilings and everything, guess what it comes with?
Ooh,
to keep them clean.
Ooh. Oh man,
I can't remember the name of the actual brand, but you'll know it if I say it. It's the stuff. It's the little tablets that you put in the glass of water with your dentures when you're 80 years old. And you take
it's
it's
Denti or not Denti.
No.
Polydent.
It's like a Polydent cleaner. It literally the mouth guards come with Polydent cleaners because of course that would be the right type of thing to clean the fucking mouth guard, and it makes complete sense. But it did make me feel like I was old and that my life was falling apart just because I now have to do a thing where I actually have to put those things in a glass with my, you know what I mean? Like I have a cup, Mikey, with water that I put my mouth guard in.
Dude, you beat me to it.
I'm
gonna have to have one.
You're gonna have to do that shit too. Well, how's your shit going? And by the way, like I guess I was probably like over exaggerating all the stuff I had. And I was very
unusual.
But very thankful that I didn't have to have all like this extensive dental work done. But like how crazy is it that could be like all of that for you grind your teeth, wear a mouth guard. Like that was like I was worried I was literally dying. You know what I mean? Like the whole week. How's your getting all your teeth ripped out of your skull going?
So I mean, I'm next Monday, I go back again for another round of root pullings, and they're gonna pull more of my like dead tooth roots out of my head for free.
This is next week?
Yeah, next Monday.
Next Monday. You're gonna they're gonna pull more teeth, more roots.
They haven't pulled any actual teeth. It's just been like dead roots that are just still in my gums. And honestly, you can't honestly tell. The only ones I could really tell he was doing anything to were the front ones.
Okay. Because they're dead anyway, right? They're dead nerve endings. You're not getting any sensation from them. You just pull.
Yeah, it's just like tooth shards that are stuck in my mouth still. So hopefully whatever he does, I don't have to get any stitches, because that was really the thing that fucked me up last time, was when he was doing my stitches. I'm freaking out like just talking about it right now, but
yeah, but you know what? Like I was going into, you got to understand, I didn't have to have any work done, but I went into it with that like I went into it with the right mindset that the worst could be coming, right? Like the worst could be happening on this particular day. And I'm like, I took the day off work because I'm like, today is going to suck. They are going to stick you with things. They are going to prod you, all that. But I think if you just have the right mental framework with it, you can get through it. And do you have that? Is that I mean, you said you're dreading it, but
Oh,
do you have any of that, or am I just being overly cocky and brave? Like, I don't think I'm trying to be. It's just I feel like you can put yourself in the right mindset.
I think you can if you're mentally strong about these sort of things. Um, surgery in general creeps me out. Like the idea of people cutting me open to do anything freaks me out.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that.
That's kind of why, in the past couple years, I've really tried to kind of quit a lot of things and be more healthy because
Yeah,
I'm really
both of us trying to minimize the amount of surgeries we're gonna have done later in life. It would probably be a good thing.
yeah, because man, just all that stuff freaks me out. Doctors freak me out. Like everything about hospitals, it scares the living.
I think we
daylights
both
out
have
of
that.
me.
I think we both have that same thing. Do you remember our good friend Zach? Right, like I met up with him. I think I talked about it on last week's show. Me and Teresa met up with Zach and Hannah, his lovely wife, and Hannah's a hoot. Like she's like one of my favorite people. She's just got such a good energy about her, right? And we were talking about all my dental stuff, and we were bringing up. I said, well, no one likes going to the dentist, and she's one of those psychopaths. She listens to the show, by the way. She's one of those psychopaths that actually likes going to the dentist. She's like, oh, it's great. Like, I get a good feeling and I get nice and clean. And it's like, I look forward to going to the dentist. Yeah, that person is sort of crazy, right? Like that
I mean, Hannah, I've met you before and you were a wonderfully nice person, but
you're not.
Bro,
You're not.
Now, I will say this. When they finally gave me the Klonopin, it really did help up until they had to hit me with more Novocaine.
Oh.
But it's literally because they're like, oh, there's this chemical in the Novocaine that makes you like jittery.
Okay.
It just makes you that way. And I'm like, oh, well, that sucks because I'm already that way. So double jitters.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel that same way. Yeah, I feel that same way sometimes. I mean, even sometimes with like weed, right? Like, this will calm you down. And then it just does the opposite type thing, Like,
yeah. There, now the good thing about next Monday, my sister, they're sending me over a prescription for Valium. So I'm basically going to get,
oh, wow.
I'm going to get to my sister's going to come pick me up.
Jesus, you're getting that's hard to get. That's not an easy, script these days, right?
I think I only get I get one right before.
Right before one. That's going to be awesome. No one gets to take Valium anymore.
Oh no.
I mean, it could be. I mean, just look forward to the good things,
Yeah, so I'm really stoked about it. So hopefully, man, drugs are so good. I'm just happy anytime there's gonna be new fun drugs.
Hey, just play. Always look on the bright side of life is what the way I would say it.
Yeah. So yeah, they're gonna be pulling out some more stuff on Monday. Hopefully that'll leave my mouth in a good enough condition so that by my birthday I can eat up some real soft mashed potatoes.
Right. Get them yeah. All right. Well, when's your birthday again?
The 25th
of this month, September.
Yeah.
All right. Well, remember
it's a Wednesday.
that. Remember that, guys. We need to do something nice for Mikey because his teeth's hurting. And we need to do something nice for Mikey for his birthday on September 25th.
What about?
You're just throwing it out there. You got ideas?
What about the Mike B? This is Onion Challenge 2.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah. What about
Wait a
Onion
minute.
Challenge
Wait a minute.
2?
Wait a minute. No, wait, what? No, what?
I'm saying people put up the dollars.
No.
I eat some onions.
Oh, you eat the onions. That's fine.
For-
Yeah.
for my birthday.
Okay. Are we gonna go? Really? You're gonna double down on yourself? I thought you were gonna try and make me or Ty eat onions. But if you're gonna eat the onions, let's do let's absolutely do onion challenge too. I made a lot of money off that.
Well, I get the money this time.
No, well, it went to the mini golf, a lot of it, some of it.
Well, we haven't done another mini golf yet, so I'm gonna collect. And the other one was just do Mike B birthday mukbang. If everyone could join us on Twitch.
Oh,
for the
we
Mike
can.
B
Yeah, we
birthday
should
mukbang.
absolutely. No, we should absolutely do that. We will. Yeah, we'll do a Twitch. We'll get all of you in. Like, if you've got Zoom, we'll make a big Zoom meeting, and everybody can just hop in on your cell phone or whatever you got, and you can sit down, talk to Mike B while he's got no teeth, eating on his birthday.
I'm eating some Chinese noodles.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I'm
romaine.
like, what are you gonna eat? But I feel like mukbangs have to have noodles. I feel like that's like part of like a true. I'm a traditionalist, Mikey, and a
mukbang purist.
Yeah, purist. So I feel like a mukbang needs a good chopstick noodle scenario.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do an all Asian Mike B's 39th birthday mukbang on the 25th of September.
All right, okay. That's good. I'm glad that we got to promote that. We should promote that. Not only that, it's something I kind of want to like hype up because next week, dude, I think we're gonna have our good friend Matthew come back on the show.
What?
Yeah, and here's the deal. This dude went on. I'm gonna try and give you a synopsis, but it's only like I talked with him for like about an hour and a half the other night, and even I only scratched the surface of this dude's trip. To put it like in perspective, Matthew is a dude that is like super like into nature and animals specifically, right? He has gone and had dives, like deep sea type dives, where you go and you fucking hang out with the sharks and stuff, right? Like he's specifically gone on trips to do that. And he's done that with a friend of his. But this time he was on his own and he spent a good amount of money. And we'll ask him, get all the specifics when he calls in next week. But he went on a trip where he had to fly from where he lives in Denver, Colorado. He flew all the way to Fiji and then flew to Tonga, I believe, and then flew another flight to a little tiny island that's one of the tiniest Tongan islands. All of Tonga, by the way, has a population of about 130,000 people. And
that's tiny.
Tiny. And it's spread out amongst all these little tiny islands in the middle of the Pacific. So he went there specifically because it was humpback whale breeding season. And he found like this whole package with a very small group of people. You stay in a shack on the beach, basically. And you know, there's a kitchen and there's meals provided and all that. But then you go out at 7 o'clock in the morning every day and you go out and for 8 hours a day, you go and swim with the humpback whales. You
Try and watch them fuck.
And yeah, I mean, they got close to watching them fuck. I mean, they were racing around trying to. The males were trying to. So he'll explain it to you better than I could. But it's kind of a thing where like there's like 8 dudes chasing after one female, and the one that basically like doesn't get tired out gets to fuck the chick. Like that's kind of how the humpbacks work. And they go for miles with this routine, you know.
So this would be like if you put a lady on the back of a car and then set like a bunch of dudes up at a foot race and they just start driving.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, whoever
gets there first or has the endurance gets.
Whoever can outlast and keep running gets to finally hump this woman.
Yeah, that's kind of how I think that's how they do. But dude, he got to like shake hands with humpbacks. He got to look them in the eye. He's like, it was one of the most like majestic. It's It's like, I think, and people have described this, it's one of those things that's like as close on Earth as you can get to sort of like a it's almost the same as like going to space. It's the closest you can get to something like that, with that humility where you look at like, oh my God, how small we are, something like that.
Mhm.
Like, I can't wait to hear about the whole trip, because he was telling me about how and these are just like spoilers, I guess, for next week. But dude, he met the locals and like got wasted off kava with them. He he was in an airport and was gonna have like the airport was closed, and got picked up by locals in a pickup truck and taken to their house. Like, the whole thing is fucking nuts, and I can't wait to hear, because I even just scratched the surface. I can't wait to hear about the whole story. So what he's gonna do is hop on, and this will be one that we definitely will post on YouTube, youtube.com/ONOmedia. But if you're on our Twitch, you're going to want to see, because he's going to hop on Zoom. He's going to share the screen. He's going to share all of his videos, and like, dude, the whales singing songs to each other, teaching each other songs that they then learn and repeat. And then they come and they go to this one area, they learn the songs, and they take them back halfway across the world. Some whales are from Australia. Some whales are from off the coast of California, right? Like, so they all like go and they come here, and then they teach each other like shit, and then it's like the summit of the whales. He got to sit in the summit of the whales.
Oh, listen to my Aussie whale song.
Is yeah. Yeah, it would be it's the whale version of the chats. I'm on smoke.
I'm on
That's a whale smoko.
I love Whale Smoko. I want to join Whale Smoko.
You want to do a whale smoko again?
I'm on smoke. Leave me alone.
Whale smoko is a hit, brother.
I just kind of want to see one whale with that weird ginger mullet that the lead singer had for a while.
Yeah, well, I think he still got. I mean, if he ever, I don't think he can cut that off, can he?
Maybe not. Let's see.
Yeah,
it still looks pretty gingery and pretty mullety.
All right, good. Yeah, the minute they cut that off, Smoko, I don't know. I don't know if I like it anymore. I still like it. Of course I do.
I'm still gonna love it.
Yeah, I'm still gonna love it. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah. So, do you want to talk? I'm gonna give you the option here. Do you want to talk about weird guys coming into interviews and then get different guys getting the jobs, or do you want to go straight to our Ono show and tell this week?
Honestly, let's do the show and tell. Let's get that.
All right, yeah, let's do that.
Get
let's
that going.
All right, let me here. Let me get mine. It's how original I am. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Oh No Show and Tell!
Oh! Oh!
Hopefully don't get sued or copyright infringed for that. But that's neither here nor there. So, Mikey, mine is a well, we haven't explained it yet, have we? Yeah, we need to.
No, you were jumping right on in.
I'm jumping too fast. I'm getting ahead of myself. This week on Show and Tell, and as every week, I ask you to bring in an item of a certain description. This week, I asked you to bring to me and the show your most confusing item. So, Mikey, that can go a lot of ways, right? Like you can get creative with this. Like if you were to bring me a Rubik's Cube, for instance, I'd be like, that is confusing. If you were to bring me one of those old school scientific calculators, I would look at that and say, that is actually very confusing to me. There are things called cosines, and I
don't understand
what any of that means. So what have you? Oh, let's go to you first then. What have you brought in today for your most confusing item.
All right. Well, I had two in mind. As I've said before, the recent move we deleted a lot of stuff out of our lives, but I still had two confusing items. And I'm gonna show you the runner up because it's a little confusing, but it didn't really win.
Okay.
And it's
So you're pulling a double item on this one. You're pulling a double item is what you're telling me.
There's only two of us.
That's fair.
I'm just
that is fair. That is that. Oh, you're stretching. You're elongating the. Yeah.
come on, I'm
radio.
just padding up the bit a little bit.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so my first the runner up was these guys. These are my
Ooh.
lay down glasses.
Okay.
They're confusing because they're hard to get right. You can put them on, and when you lay down, you can lay all the way down and still watch your TV.
I'm gonna explain these to the people that might not have seen it here. They are lay down glasses, so that when you put them on, there are mirror reflectors, so that if you're I guess reading a book and laying down, you'd be able to lay completely flat and read the book. Correct?
Mm-hmm. And so they're a little confusing when you put them on because you got to kind of angle your head just right.
Can you ever get it right?
You kinda,
yeah.
And then you gotta.
So no, that's a no to me.
And then it turns into you gotta adjust your pillow just properly.
Yeah. And then if you sneeze, it's gone. You lost it.
Yeah.
Or
you drop your if you drop your phone because now your orientation is all screwed up because you're not looking. Then you gotta take them off and grab your phone and then put them back on and start and find your phone.
So that would actually be, and one of these days I'm gonna put together an event where we do a Taskmaster styled show, and that we have.
I love Taskmaster.
And, the British one, right? Because it's the. I mean, come on, the American one sucks. Let's just agree. If you have the American one is they bastardize it. The British, what season? Have you watched it all? Because
no,
we're on. We watch it every when me and Teresa are going to bed. That's our show, right? Our fall asleep. Taskmaster on YouTube, by the way, for free. There's I believe 17 seasons. They just started or maybe I might. It's 18th or 19th, and we're on number 16. We have gone episode by episode through all the seasons, and I can just tell you right now. It's one of the things that's made me more lighthearted in life. It's so just I don't know. It's like a therapeutic show at this point for me. Sorry, that's where the item whole thing got stolen from. That's why it's and that was obviously the song. But yes, a Taskmaster challenge with those classes. You have to do a slalom through some cones and get from one end to another end just wearing those glasses, and you can't take them off. That's it's almost like those remember when the cops would do a thing, they'd come to your school and they'd be
the drunk goggles?
Yeah, and with the drunk goggles, the beer goggles, and they'd make you put them on this is what it's like when you're fucked up. And I remember putting those on as a kid and then also getting drunk later on in life, and honestly, those drunk goggles, pretty accurate. Not gonna lie, those they were actually kind of accurate.
See, I always was man, these don't do anything. But then as I, really looked at it and analyzed my drinking, I'm like, oh, your problem is never impaired vision or I'm blacked out before any of those other problems ever happen.
See, it did that thing where it would fuck with my eyes, but it was equilibrium. And so that it was the feeling more than the actual know the way that they made me feel was the way I feel kind of when I'm drunk. It's we did this years. I don't know even know if you were on the show yet, but we did the test and we played around with that one app where you. It's like a silencer app where you talk and it slightly delays your voice, and do you know what I'm talking about?
No, but this sounds like it would freak me out.
Yeah. And it makes it almost impossible for you to talk. It's sort of just this, because of like this exact pattern. We've never played you. Yeah, it must have been years ago before you were on the show. We did that. Maybe we can do that. Maybe I can find a way that we can do it. I don't know if it'll work via
Zoom.
yeah, you'd have to download the app on your own phone, and I think like have your own headphone. That's what we did too. You have to have headphones connected to a app that's dedicated to that, and then you try and talk because it's like so you wouldn't be hearing us, you'd just be hearing like from the app or in your phone or whatever. And yeah, it messes with like the way that your brain works and how that you talk. So you like you physically like you get to a point where you try and say a sentence, like try and read something. You can sort of if it's in front of you, I was able to power through it. But if you're just trying to like have complete sentences and just like talk like me and you, it does this thing where it just like short circuits the brain. We'll look it up. After the thing. But yeah, that was a good one. I think you want to go with your second, or do I go with my one?
Oh, well, I was just gonna move on to what I actually had.
Okay, let's go with that then.
So this is what I picked because all right. This has always been in our house, and it was boxed up even at our last apartment. And you know, when we moved everything and unboxed everything here, I found it again.
Okay, so this is like a recent new discovery, which is always interesting.
Yeah. But even when it was at our original house, the original apartment when I moved to Orlando, it's the most. All right. I'm going to try and hold it stable because it almost always is just falling off and around. Sorry. It doesn't sit quite normal or like it would be actually. And I'm talking, this thing is this is about 10 pounds. This little,
this hand
just the
thing, the hand. So guys, we've talked about birds on a stick before.
It doesn't sit.
This is a hand on a stick that doesn't quite hand on two sticks, and it's a nice looking hand, but it came on the two sticks, but it doesn't sit on the two sticks right. Why is there the hand? Why is there the two sticks? This is a confusing item.
I don't know what the fuck this is for.
I don't know what it is, but I love it.
It doesn't look like it should be art because it doesn't really.
Yeah, it's not good enough to be art, really. I mean, it is.
No.
It's just enough. But
we alter it every now and then and try and get it.
Where did you find it?
It was just at my wife's house when I moved into Orlando.
So no one knows where it really came from.
No, and I've asked her, and she's like, I mean, it's kind of been here. It's
just the hand. Kind of just everybody knows about the hand. Like,
and I'm like, well, where'd it come from? She's like, honestly, I don't really remember. It's got like 0 markings on other than a made in China sticker on the bottom.
You're gonna have to take a series of pictures for people for that one for the Facebook so everybody knows, because my describing this hand, this decorative hand on sticks, it won't do it justice. Yeah, you can pick your nose with it.
But again, it's like a solid 10 pound.
It's a heavy hand. What is it made of, you think? It's not.
I don't know.
Is it wood? It does. It looks kind of like wood, but
if it's wood, it feels just like
ceramic. It's ceramic.
Ceramic, probably.
Yeah.
But it's fucking.
It's hefty.
Fucking heavy.
You could probably kill a dude with that if you needed.
I've thought about, like, if I just clobbered a man.
Don't break the finger off that. That's a good hand. Don't break that hand.
Oh, I could.
Yeah, you could poke. Yeah. Do the old poke in the eyes with it. Yeah, you could. You could do a lot of things with that hand.
I think I could. I think the hand might hold up. I could pierce a skull.
I'm not trying to be rude to Janine here, but it could be a sex toy.
Oh, just a little.
That or just a wiggle pop out. Little jiggle.
A little finger pop.
Yeah, you could.
It could be.
It could.
But yeah, this right here, folks, is my
That's a good one. That's I mean, mine's
my confusing hand.
That's a very confusing hand, and it's better than mine, I would probably guess. But I have been confused by this, and I think it was a promotional item of some description. And Teresa has always loved it. Won't let me move it. Like, she just loves this stupid thing, and it's like it's a Christmas ornament. Realistically, I think we got it around Christmas time from some. You know how like a subscription package or something. I think that's where it was. That had been a part of, like, around Christmas time. They sent her an ornament or whatever. But none of the company's like marketing has anything to do with this, and it's like just so out of place. And I wouldn't put it on the Christmas tree because I think it's ugly. But so I'll show it to you first, Mike, so you can get a feeling for it. But I have just for years, I'm like, what is it supposed to be? What is it? I think it's some like Japanese character or something. So you might have some more like knowledge on this than I do, but it looks like a yellow blob with eyes and a mouth with it's got multiple arms. It's like I think it's a 6-armed creature. And then it looks like it's sitting on a pile of meatloaf, and then there's a spoon, and then all of that's on a plate. So, okay, can you see this? Is that
oh? It looks like a little dude laying on a.
Yeah. Can you make any sense of this more than I can?
So the only thing
she thinks it's an egg. She says like, oh, it's like an egg thing or something. I'm like, is it an egg?
Okay, so the only description that comes to mind is it looks like an omurice omelet from Japan.
Okay, so it's some dish I don't know about. It's trying to represent,
right?
Anamorphize or whatever the word is. Like
it looks like an omurice omelet. And
weird.
if I can, let's see.
Yeah, but you don't recognize like the character. The character is not something, because you know a lot of Japanese anime and shit. That's not something
Right.
like right? Like that's
something that I've learned through like study.
Yeah, but you haven't seen this particular dude.
No,
Like,
no. He just with the little bit of red sauce and the color of the rice.
Yeah. Okay.
It does.
Oh, that's okay. That's what it's supposed to be, like a red sauce on top of him dripping down.
Right.
And he's also kind of like depressed looking too. He's like, oh man, I'm gonna get eaten.
I'm gonna get cut open and eaten.
Yeah.
I will say the one.
It's confusing, right? It is confusing. Can you at least give me that?
No. If you had no idea, like I did, like what that kind of resembled, that just looks like a little dude laying, like on a bed, like he's a lazy little yellow man.
Yeah, I don't.
But that definitely, again, that would be very confusing if you had no clue, like what that came from or what that's supposed to be.
She thinks it's cute. I think it's disturbing, and she put it right by my bed, so like it's right like eye level. So every time I wake up, I look at that. Like that's like almost one of the first things I see in the morning, and I kind of hate it. But also every day, I'm also like, what are you?
Oh, and if you allow me to share my screen, I got a picture pulled up of.
Can you not do it? Is it
you disabled it?
Oh, did I? Why?
You don't want us sharing our screens.
That is fair. That is something I would do. Hang on. I gotta remember how to do that. Yeah, here you go. I think maybe now. Try it now.
There we go.
All right.
So yeah, it'd be like this thing right here.
Thing. Okay.
The thing that I'm hovering my mouse over, it's pretty much
Okay, yeah, it does look like that. So it's like so it is an egg.
Yeah.
So it's like an egg on rice with some sauce on top of it.
Yep.
And the yellow bean man is the egg.
Right.
So you nailed it. That's exactly what it is. It does that's probably what it is supposed to be. What is it called?
So,
what is it?
Omurice. OMU rice. OMURIC.
Is that
OMRS.
good? Is that? I mean, it's like scrambled eggs on rice with sauce.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
I don't like it.
Well, and they also do like the really like soft scrambled eggs.
Well,
with
now you
just-
ruined. Now you ruined it because now I know what it is and I like it less.
Oh well, you asked.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I'm a well-traveled, multicultural gentleman.
I still don't like his face though.
Oh, well, no, the face makes him look like he is a lazy omelet, and I damn sure
Wait.
don't want to eat a lazy omelet.
Yeah, I want a like get up and go kind of omelet. You know what I mean? Like if I'm eating an omelet, I want it to like really change my day and have a really positive like vibe about it.
Well, especially if I'm eating an omurice omelet, I want it to be a hard-working Tokyo omelet. I want it to be up at sunrise, dressed in a full suit with a smile on its face, going to work. I don't want this lazy layabout omelet.
No. All right. Well, that was a solid segment there of oh no.
Liking it.
Oh no, what do we call it? Oh no, showing. Oh! Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah,
He was
well,
showing.
Yeah,
He
see,
was telling.
I got music now, right? So I got,
Kind of.
It's kind of. We're getting there. We're gonna get there.
Only a little bit of that music.
we're gonna get there. Don't worry about it. The bit's
Owen,
coming together.
Since we were done with show and tell me all about this gentleman
Oh
at your job
no,
who is apparently causing confusion.
Okay. So this wasn't at my job. This is something that's a Reddit thread that both me and Teresa sort of stumbled upon. She even I was fascinated with it, and then she even sent me this. She's like, "You got to talk about this on Oh No." I'm like, "Okay." If she says that, then you know it's a guarantee. It's probably getting on the show. Either way, so this is not my company. This is not anywhere I've worked. I've never encountered this before, but this is apparently becoming a bit of a thing. And I'll just read the post and read maybe some of the responses as well and get your opinion on it. So
Okay.
the title of the post is "The guy who started today is clearly not the guy we interviewed and no one else has noticed." So post goes on. Hi, all. Bit of a weird question. Bit of a weird one here. I helped my team. This is in Ask HR, by the way, is the group. I helped my team interview a candidate a couple weeks ago. By helped, I mean I asked all the questions and engaged with the candidate while my bosses worked on their own projects and half listened. I really liked the guy. He was outgoing, quick, knew what he was talking about to a very high level, and his experience matched. Now, normally, I wouldn't mention ethnicity or physical characteristics, as it does not even factor into my opinion of a candidate. But since it's relevant here, the guy, I believe, was Guatemalan and had a slight accent. He had black curly hair and some stubble. He was also very average of height. We ran 4 other interviews for the position and ended up hiring the Guatemalan guy. Let's call him Josh. By the way, let's call him Juan. No, that's me interjecting. Don't call the Guatemalan guy Josh. That was stupid. That's stupid, right? All right, whatever. Josh. Since he had the experience and there were no red flags in the interview, not that my bosses would have even noticed if there were, he was scheduled to start today. So after a morning meeting, I swung by his new office to say hello and welcome him to the team. But when I get there, I see some tall white guy with wavy brown hair. The nameplate on the door has Josh's first and last name, so I asked the guy if Josh was in, kind of assuming it was the IT guy kind of helping setting up the office.
Right.
The guy said he was Josh, and the kicker is, he also said, "It's great to see you again," and used my name. I hadn't yet introduced myself. He said it with what I would say is a Midwestern accent. I couldn't interrogate it too far because he was called into some onboarding thing, but I was really confused. I ran into my boss afterwards, and he said he had a nice conversation with Josh this morning, and he feels reaffirmed that we made the right choice. I said, that doesn't seem to be the guy we interviewed. I don't know if he thought it was a joke, but my boss said, "You're a quick judge of character, but time will tell if he's a good one." Then laughed, walked away. No one else seems to have noticed that it's a completely different guy. I haven't brought it up outright to anyone yet, but also want to because this is weird and seemingly fraudulent. I just don't know how to bring this up to a superior of HR. Blah 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 blah. There's an edit at the end of it. No fucking joke. Seconds after posting this, I got a connection request from Josh on LinkedIn. The profile picture is the white dude, but his cover photo is the Guatemalan flag. And to clarify, this was in person about 4 weeks ago. So a different guy showed up for the job after he got hired. Now, this is where it gets crazy because the thread right now is over 1,000 people deep, 1,000 comments deep.
Woo!
And it's one of these things where it's like, oh, this is like a thing that is happening. So people that aren't, it's happening in the IT programming sector is where it's happening, right? And in very like higher level, even corporate or IT programming jobs specifically, people will find a job, and they're like the two Joshes in this scenario. You got Guatemalan Josh and white dude from Midwest Josh, right? The guy from the Midwest, he probably knows a bit. You know, he has some programming knowledge, but is he as good as what they're looking for the job? So they hire a person, it seems, to go and do the job interview, like, it's super smart about it, basically knowing that they can, or trying to then sneak in after the fact. This is happening, if you look at this thread, all over the goddamn place. And how fucking crazy is that, Mike?
Dude, I can see how it could happen maybe in those like large corporate companies where maybe the person who does the interviewing would never actually see you once you're...
And that's what they know. That's what they're betting on. They've done their research. They know that that's exactly the case.
Yeah, and so they send their dude in who can probably just wow enough at the interview.
Yep.
And again, maybe, you know, a lot of these programmer guys are a little bit more reserved. They're probably not super great in social scenarios.
Yep.
So these interviews are probably just honestly probably mildly scary or difficult. Or difficult.
Both of us are sort of
actually...
spectrumy in general, and those are like the worst of worst situations. I literally just sidebar real quick. I had an interview for my own job this past week from a supervisor that's been there for 3 weeks and doesn't know anything about my job. And I had to explain what I did for the job that I am interviewing for. But he then went ahead and in typical, because he, like, how is he going to interview for somebody where he doesn't even know what I do, let alone interview for it, right?
Right.
So he really kind of did resort to the age-old, like, give me a scenario. It's like they got a book of these things, right? Give me a scenario where you followed every procedure, but it didn't work, and then you found yourself after the fact learning a lesson or something like that, right? Like they've got a million of these. And after a couple of them, I kind of just looked at them like, I'm just like, I don't do well with these, like, you know, cookie cutter, like, interview questions, and I'm already doing the job. You're asking me about a scenario where I was taught something. Well, I created the whole program of which I work. So it's like your questions are like actually kind of asinine to me, like, because no one taught me what I do. Like I wrote the book that I, you know, follow, like, if that makes any sense. Like so I mean, you know, long story short, interview went well.
But yeah, dude, that's kind of got to be what it is, in that, like, these guys just know they interview poorly. They know that
there's something there.
Even in the back of their heads, if they know they could do 75% of their work, they know that maybe that 25% that they can't do is something that's really probably pretty critical to either them moving up or them gaining more money in the field. So why not bring this dude in who maybe knows how to do all of that? Because maybe that 25% is like such a
Yeah.
rarity
That you
in
don't
today's
really need,
field.
like, the guy, the Midwestern Josh can probably just about do the job, but they needed to have the qualifications above and beyond, and that's
Mhm.
where Guatemalan Josh came in and did it. Now, they obviously were working in cahoots. Midwestern Josh probably paid, this guy to do the interview for him. But then I also would expect, like he says, he knew my name. He acted like we had just met. Guatemalan Josh goes back and says, like, yeah, this is like, these are the people that interviewed me. This is what they look like. These are their names. This is that, like, and so when he goes in, he can sort of pretend. And now you think you're like, if you're the guy at the thing that was the guy hiring, and you're the only guy paying attention, like that would be like a Vanilla Sky scenario, right? Or something like,
Oh, you
I am
you
losing my goddamn mind. Like this is like, this is not the same person. It's not. I
'cause
think
you ma
Vanilla Sky is the movie I'm thinking of that applies, right? Like, do you know what I mean by that?
I'm not
Maybe
certain.
maybe I'm wrong, but
Um,
maybe someone will get that.
yeah, no, apparently it would seem like you are literally having a psychotic episode because you're like, no, this dude is, and because everybody else probably isn't aware that it's even happening in their industry,
Yeah,
they're looking at you like, what do you mean this is, why would there be one guy at the interview and then a different guy at the job site? That they're telling you that doesn't even make, if you're Owen and you come to me and I'm the HR rep who does the paperwork but never actually sees anybody
right.
in, I don't know this dude.
Well,
All I got was paperwork for him and like a couple
and
assignments to
you
give
can
him right away.
well, and you can also take that with like undocumented workers getting working under, like, say there's 3 Miguels working as a dishwasher under the same social security number, essentially, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think that happens. I think that absolutely happens. But one of the, like, first posts in this thing, it's like, so far, like, comments on that previous post. So far, we have caught 3 to 4 people doing this in a company of about 30,000 people. It's becoming more and more prevalent. I can't imagine how or where they are finding these people to come interview them. It's crazy. So, like, this is obviously, and I mean, this person goes in. It says it's in tech. It does make me wonder. Like, someone asks, like, it's in tech. It does make me wonder how many have gotten away with it. In each case, it happened to be someone who participated in the interviews, not usually the hiring manager, who raised a flag that was something off. Candidate looked significantly different, voice, accent completely different. Some of them had zero technical knowledge of the things they were tested about during interviews, which triggered the investigation. So this is obviously something that is going on to get people into positions, like, and probably like a nice kickback for people that can't legally work in America, but like are like an Indian dude that's super skilled, right? He comes in and interviews for you. He knows all the shit, and it's like, like, takes the
and
tests for you. And I remember this was going on. I remember hearing stories about this when I was in college, and of course I went to a technical school and just got a very basic degree. But I remember hearing about this from people that were same age range in the early 2000s, where they were going to like real deal school, like, bachelor's, business degrees, philosophy, whatever it is, right? At a like UCF or like a major college institution. And there were people that it was common that you could be able to pay, I guess is all pre-AI too, where you could pay them to write you your essay and come up with your thesis and come up with different things. We've all heard of that before. This is just like taking it, I guess, to that next step. It seems like it's the same thing, but just the next degree, right?
Yeah, but Owen, I think you're even maybe going a little too nefarious with it. I think you're probably talking about younger dudes.
Oh, you really think it's just because of like anxiety and stuff they hire a guy to
No,
do
no, no.
it?
I don't even think it's that. I mean, maybe there is probably some of that. maybe that's what a couple of these guys are hiring these other dudes for, is that they just don't test well, or maybe they're missing that like I said, that 25%. But I think this is do you remember that story a couple years ago about the guy who got a job as like a it was like a machine operator in a plant, and then he started, he was doing just posting pictures of himself and videos of himself on either TikTok or social media somewhere. But he's like, "Hey guys, I literally lied on my application, but I got through and now I'm a
Right.
machine operator. How do I do this?"
Well, and
I think this is just the refinement of
that process.
that process where it's like, it's probably very hard to get through the interviews like that guy did with
It's gotta
no
be
technical knowledge.
and it's gotta
I
be
think
it's gotta be illegal at some point, right? Like it's
I think it is
false
probably
identity,
it's
or something.
fraud or
Yeah,
misrepresentation.
yeah.
But I think what a lot of these kids assume is, once I get into the position and
I can fake it enough that I can be fine, type thing.
either that, or I can get online and just either have AI do a vast majority of my job,
Right.
or I've heard of this where these guys are getting jobs, and yeah, they have the knowledge, they could do the jobs themselves, but they're going and hiring out these dudes in these Southeast Asian countries who will work for literally like
$20.
fifth.
Right.
Well, they'll work for a fifth of the dude's salary.
Oh, and then
And the
they just
dude-
and then even all the work, they just send them all the work and they take
Send them all the work.
That's genius. I should
And
do
then
that.
And then, yeah, so these guys, because they basically have this dude reporting to them, doing all the work, they're collecting 80% of. Yeah, SJ in our chat room is talking exactly. They hire a freelancer to do their work.
That's
And
genius. Why
they
haven't I
turn
thought I need to do this in general? I mean, oh man,
Dude, if you work in the type of field where you're that kind of disconnected, where you're basically just being given work and all you need to do is return completed work.
I could probably pull some of this off just a little bit.
Dude, again, I've always wondered,
hard to do that in the kitchen though, Mike. I would say in your line of work,
No,
a little
no.
harder, a little harder than mine.
Not so hard. All I would really
Yeah.
have to do is find these guys.
You need a
train them to
you need
be
a
me.
team of Miguels. You need a team of Miguels.
Yeah, and so what I would do is I'd train them as managers, but make sure that they're these people that will work for way less than I would actually
Yeah,
work
yeah.
for.
Then
Negotiate these high-priced jobs.
exactly, and then
subcontract my
subcontract-
manager work, and I take like 2/5 of the money.
Yeah.
And I have to give away 3/5. Now, I'm
you
not
chip
being
it-
greedy.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. I think
If I do it at
Mhm.
like 4 or 5 jobs around town
Then
and just
you're-
have all
yeah.
my work subcontracted out,
just take a little 2/5 from each one, and then you're good to go, buddy.
if I take it from 5 jobs, then I'm making 10/5
That's right.
or 2.
I like this idea. I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna start doing this.
Why don't we just build the service that facilitates
Yeah.
this service?
Wait a minute. Did we invent slavery?
No, we're paying this. People are getting paid money.
Okay, yeah, you're right. We're fine. We're good. We negotiate high, so we take our cut, and then
So we still pay them
yeah,
pretty good.
yeah, it's fine.
It's not poverty,
It's
but
better
it's not.
than not having a job, right?
Yeah, and then we find the jobs where they need like
yeah.
SJ says we're describing Mr. Workflow.
What is
Basic.
what is Mr. Work? I don't know what Mr. Workflow is.
I assume it's probably a program like we just
program
described.
that literally does that.
Oh,
is
we're describing
SJ's
maybe
workflow. I think he meant my workflow. All right, great. Well, okay, MJ, SJ. I'm gonna learn a thing or two from you and go.
Yeah,
from there.
we need to get
Yeah.
business SJ in
I knew
here
I liked you,
to give us
SJ. I knew I liked SJ, but I like him a lot more.
Well, I mean, you loved him because he's a wrestling fanatic.
Well,
and a big
that
wrestling
and he's a
guy.
good
And
person.
now
you
he's
know.
apparently also business
Yeah.
mastermind.
I love it. That's kind of what I want. Speaking of masterminds, you've heard me talk about in the past. You've heard me mention Mr. Blobby before. He's a British character. I think that. Are you how familiar with Mr. Blobby? Are you familiar enough? Because I've played him enough on the show, right?
I do believe I've seen quite a sampling of
Yeah.
Mr. Blobby from you.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm a big fan of Mr. Blobby, as you know, I've talked about year in year out. We'll do just a quick. I'll do a share, and so that everybody can at least understand who Mr. Blobby is. Let me pull it up right here. But man, a lot of people do find him super creepy and don't like Mr. Blobby. And there is an element of horror with Mr. Blobby. He is the scariest of children's characters. I was terrified of him when I was a child. All right, here's a clip of him I'll share here. Give me 2 seconds. Shoop. Let me pull that up.
Still to come. We have to move you.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up a clip from Good Morning Britain.
Good morning, Britain.
Good morning, Britain.
Good
Hello.
morning.
Hello.
Our
How are
son.
you? All right, a little bit of that. Oh wow, it's not letting me optimize now. Oh
We
dear.
can't optimize.
I know. Something's weird going on
We-
with the
We need
optimization.
the optimization.
Sorry if it's fucked. Do you see that, Mike? Do you
Oh,
see that?
Mr. Blobby, I don't like.
You see Good Morning Britain?
I think I've said it before. I'm not a Mr. Blobby fan. He's creeperific.
Out of the way, because moving into position is legendary DJ, TV presenter, Mr. Saturday Night. He's Noel Edmonds. He's talking to us this morning.
So Noel Mr. Blobby
he
came from
ditched
the
the
brain
UK
of that
for
man
laughing.
right there. That Noel Edmonds, a very famous host in the UK back in my early days. Funny man, kind of a Conan O'Brien type character. And yeah, it'd be like Triumph, right? Conan has Triumph, the insult dog. Mr. Blobby was on his show, right? But he became a hit way beyond the Noel Edmonds show.
New Zealand, why he's back, why he's on a mission to keep the radio industry alive, and why he wears odd shoes.
And he'll also reveal why he needed therapy after working with Mr. Blobby. You're watching Good Morning Britain.
There's Mr.
on
There he is.
ITV1. We'll see you.
It's the
in a
voice that
Do not
always
miss it.
weirds me out.
Yeah. No, that didn't do a good job of explaining. We need the voice. You're absolutely right, because Mr. Blobby is nothing. I'm just gonna type in voice here. Here we go. Mr. Blobby sounds. Here's a YouTube video. That's not him. There he is. So there you go. He is terrifying, right? He is terrifying.
I'm not a fan of the Blobby voice.
I get it, dude. I completely understand. You still see my YouTube up there?
I do.
All right, let me see if I can just drag this over, because I was called a maniac for purchasing this the other day, and I did. But here you go. See, does that work? Do you see that now?
Nope. I saw it come up a little bit. There it is.
And there's my
Oh,
new,
whoa.
there's
Oh,
my
why?
there's my new T-shirt.
Why?
Tell the people about the T-shirt I ordered.
Owen has decided that it looks like a blue Gildan,
Mm-hmm.
but it's got the blobby head and the blobby bow tie.
Mm-hmm.
Blobby head, blobby bow tie, and above all that, in just real nice under non-capitalized lettering, it says, "I am God."
It's the best shirt ever, right?
Blobby is God. I mean, that voice does sound either demonic or angelic. I can't
Oh,
really.
come on. That to me, I was when man, I saw it and I'm like, I kind of did some slight revisions to the design. But I had to get it. I had to get it, Mike. You're back on camera, but
It's a great shirt. I don't
it's a
want to
good
take
shirt.
that away
It's
from
a
you,
good,
but it
yeah,
is
it's a good.
slightly chilling.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Teresa's like, can you not wear that when we go out? I'm like, oh, we're wearing it every time we go out. I'm putting that shirt on. You know it. I'm gonna wear it to work. And I'm not allowed to wear it to work. It's not in my wardrobe at all. But I'm wearing it.
But you're gonna put it on under your blacks.
Oh yeah. You know I'm gonna be wearing. You know deep down what's going on there.
Blobby God.
Yeah. Yeah. Last thing I want to get to before we take a small break was I wanted to ask you if you'd ever been to like a show, performance, even a theme park, whatever it is, where you've seen like something go drastically wrong, like a technical difficulty scenario. Mainly because I've been through several of them in the past couple of weeks on the other end as somebody who's like behind the scenes, right? Like operating this shit. And I haven't seen a ton in my life, like from the audience's side. And I was hoping that you maybe have at least seen like something go wrong, like at a theme park or whatever. And I want to have a slight discussion about this.
Well, I mean, I believe I've made mention of it before, but I started going to theme parks, whether it was Universal, Disney, SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, before I could walk.
It's part
maybe-
of it's part of growing up here too. Like
Yeah.
it's one of the things that your parents do. You take you to the beach and you go to a theme park every once in a while, right?
Well, I mean, I've been to the theme parks literally hundreds of times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went from the time I was 1 till I was about 14.
And like me, you know them like the back of your hand in a weird way. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's where this used to be. I remember when I was growing up that, Norway is where Frozen is and where, in Epcot, or if you're at
Yeah.
Universal, like Jimmy Fallon used to be Ghostbusters. And after that, it was Twister and things like, like you just know this stupid like knowledge just because you went all throughout those years, you saw it kind of evolve and change with your
Yeah.
own eyes, right? Yeah.
I mean, I've been on so many rides. And I can tell you like the probably the top at each 3 of the parks. In Universal, the worst one I was ever on was there's a part on the ET ride where you come like up over a hill and then you dip down a little bit.
Yeah.
The moment it dipped down,
It's always where it breaks.
the ride stopped.
Yeah, I know
So,
I know
I'm a-
exactly where you're at right
I'm
there.
a kid, and
Yeah,
now I'm like
yeah.
just trying with all my arm
on the
force.
bike, on the little bike thing.
I'm trying to hold myself like upright on the bike. In Disney, we were stuck in one of it was a random point in Splash Mountain, but the music didn't go off.
Oh, that's the worst.
So you're just sitting, and it was probably like 20 minutes
Yeah, yeah.
of just that on loop.
Oh man, that's a long time. Yeah. Can we at
and-
least Can we at least get that turned off? Like if
Yeah,
we're stuck,
bro-
come on.
The moment the ride stops, shut that shit off. Because I've been stopped in Small World, and that was probably the worst of like audio wise. Because that
Yeah.
Small World song is just grating on your ears.
Yeah.
There was I want to say it was in SeaWorld. We actually got stuck on a coaster. It was like like 1 or 2 clicks into like the ascent, they like stopped us, and so you're just kind of like, and you're only like maybe 20 feet off the ground, but it was still you're like in
Yeah.
like a reclined position, and your legs are just like dangling there. They're cutting the circulation off your legs. So you do finish the ride off with completely like pins and needle legs, and that absolutely sucked.
I mean, I've seen plenty of rides go down. I've seen roller coasters, and I can't give specifics, but factory stuff where it's like at the worst possible position, where it's like at the straight up, like a roller coaster going like 90 degrees up, and it gets stuck. Like there are scenarios where I've seen evac situations that are quite harrowing, to be honest with you, that I wouldn't want to be a part of if I was on said ride. Now, I'm talking more like performances in a sense. And again,
Yes.
I'm going to try and tell this without it being too specific. But at a popular, factory that I work at, we've had some issues with one of our parade floats and multiple of our parade floats. And the other day, we had an issue where we had to basically, we had to pull it into the crowd, right? And to get it out of the way of people. Like there was a move type scenario, move the barricades, get it the hell out of the way because it was breaking down, so that we could then get the rest of the parade behind it to move forward. So that they then attached, what is known as a tug type little, basically like a little tiny little truck that they can hitch to things, and like a tugboat, tow it through the park.
Rest of the parade.
And I just think of it as like a guest. I'm like, if I saw that, like what did I, like, you know what I mean? Like,
dude, I mean, I've definitely seen, we used to watch the parades, weekly. I've definitely seen several characters where their head just, the character head kind of
yeah.
pops
Oh,
off.
yeah. That's always the best. Yeah.
That's a weird
solid
scramble. The foot soldiers, when they had the Toy Story parade.
Oh yeah, they used to have the green dudes, the army men.
Well, their feet had like these extra wide platforms on them.
Makes sense, because that would fit.
So they
with
look.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen
Those
couple
guys
of the
bust
like
ass.
trip. Yeah, just trip and like
Yeah.
totally
eat shit.
I'm pretty sure one guy, it looked like he went down on his knee
Mm.
so hard, like hard enough where I'm like,
Ooh.
That doesn't look like he's gonna get up from that one.
Yeah.
ew.
Have you ever seen a stilt walker eat shit from
Oh no,
stilts?
but I mean that's kind of on my like bucket list of.
I've
theme
seen
park.
I've seen a small handful of stilt walkers really eat shit. And I tell you what, usually
You could bust like your whole.
Okay, so think about this. There's Mardi Gras type celebrations where what do? They throw all these beads out there. They can get tangled sometimes, and they can get kind of like winky wonky. If you get like a bunch of them, like, you know how they click together type shit, those beads, you can get like a bunch of them. And I've seen it where it's wrapped around like a stilt walker's legs. You know, like the old like lasso a bull by like the legs or whatever. Like you get like you know, and you get it and whatever. I've seen that literally happen with fucking beads and stilt walkers, where it's like gone around in the wrong way and just like through whatever like miracle kind of like latched onto itself. And you think it's enough to like, you think your legs, you think your leg strength would be powerful enough to just break those beads. But sometimes in the right scenario, those things are strong as hell. And it fucking like, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen that take out, plenty of people over the years. Like it's a thing. That's a thing that happens. Anyway, I just I wanted to bring it up because I think we're both fond of when things go wrong slightly. We even laugh at it when it happens on the show, right? Like Owen hits the wrong button, the intro's fucked up, whatever, right? Like it's part of, I think, what we find kind of funny. We like things when it goes a little awry.
Well, here's the thing.
Just curious if you found
I think there is a lot of that in this day and age. That's why alongside of every amazing compilation video, you have
a fail video, right?
Fail compilation videos. We get I think we want the duality because we see all the best of the best and we only
Yeah.
see the winning shots of everything nowadays. You want to see those compilations of people just completely whiffing a shot and like we want the old 90s America's Funniest Home Videos.
It's Benny Hill, man.
Yeah,
There's a little bit of that in us, right? Like, there's also a reason why. I mean, obviously, I'm a huge wrestling fan. There's a reason why one of the most popular wrestling channels on YouTube that's been around for years and years and years is called Botchamania, and it's literally making fun of this stupid thing this guy said, this move that didn't get done correctly, this like. And they do a good job of like I don't want to see anyone actually get really hurt. Like that's the difference. Like when we were kids, we also had shit where it was like what was like there was Gumption Junction, there was like rotten.com, there was Consumption Junction, things like that where it was like almost like snuff film type stuff where you see a dude get his head chopped off and shit that.
We can take it even farther than that. I can still remember the day where my brother and I got the cinder blocks from my dad's like little like garbage pile.
Right.
Some spare pieces of wood.
Yeah.
And we put 2 cinder blocks up and one in the middle, built a ramp on one of the speed bumps in the trailer park. And by the time we had finished it, we had just about every single child that lived in the trailer park
had a broken or bruised something, right?
Well, no, they only came out to see who was going to jump it because it was a bigger ramp.
Oh, so it was like an event, is what you're saying? Like you built the ramp, and then you were like, oh,
Well, we lived kind of back in the corner of the trailer park. So I think once a couple kids like
news
saw
got out.
Yeah, and everyone started coming back to the corner of the trailer park, and we're like, well, I'm gonna do it, and I'm 90% sure they were only there to watch me just whiff this jump real hard. I did end up screwing up the jump. My foot came off my pedal, and I smashed my foot real bad.
I remember that story. I remember you telling me that one.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure that's why everybody came out there, was just to see like, oh, what's Fat Mike gonna do? Is he gonna walk the ramp up? He's not gonna make it.
He's gonna do it. Is he gonna do it? Tell me, you were probably drinking RC Cola at this time. And
I might have been.
Like it's around the right like time frame, right? So I did want to bring
last
thing we'll do before we go to break. Tell me about this RC Cola scenario. Like you found it and like you were disappointed. Is that what's going on?
Okay, so I remember back in the day, my babysitter Tabitha, when I was like,
she sounds hot. She sounds hot. I don't know why.
She was like a blonde redneck mom.
Okay, probably a little trashy hot.
She had
big juggers.
Yeah,
she had big old Beths.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
And I remember we would go over to her house when my mom would go to work, and her son, like pretty much, from what I can remember, sustained himself on RC Cola.
That's all he had.
And that was it.
Yeah.
And I remember drinking it, and like we got Coca-Cola at my house. My mom was like, "No, I like Coca-Cola. That's what we're gonna."
She wasn't that cheap. I know you were poor, but she wasn't that cheap that she would go check or anything like that. Like,
no, we occasionally would get like some 2 liters of the old Czech Cola.
Yeah.
If the kids wanted soda, because my mom's Coca-Cola was for the rum.
Czech Win
in the
Dixie.
house.
Czech Win Dixie.
Yeah, Czech Win.
Yeah. If you don't know, it's sort of like a Faygo, but even Faygo, I think, is kind of fancier in a weirder way because
Faygo is definitely a name, like a big name brand.
Yeah. Maybe that, then we didn't get any of that. Like for us, it was like store brand for us of knockoff Coca-Cola was always Czech for me. Czech.
Yeah. But I remember being like, oh man, like, I've never been a huge fan of Coke. I'm a Pepsi man myself, but I remember drinking the RC Cola and being like, oh man, this stuff is good. It's not as fizzy as Coke, which I thought was good.
I don't think I've ever had one.
I mean, I thought they were really great. I used to beg my mom, and maybe here's what I've been thinking about since I wrote it down. RC Cola was the only cola brand back in the day that sold a 3-liter bottle.
Oh, it's the big see, and that's the thing that Faygo did. That's why I'm comparing the two. Like there is some similarities, I think, weirdly
Right.
with those.
So I would always ask my mom, like, Mom, get us RC Cola. It's the same price. And it's 3 liters.
Get an extra liter. Also,
Um,
pain in the ass to store in your fridge. Gonna be honest.
Oh,
If
they
it-
were
like,
massive. They
yeah,
were so big.
Pain in the ass. They're like you have to lay it down on its side and kind of like put it kind of at an angle to get it with the door so the door closes.
Well, also for like my little sister, who maybe at the time was like 3, she could barely do the 2-liter if it was, anything more than half full.
Yeah.
She can.
Not hold the whole thing. Yeah. It's a big.
And
boy.
there were a couple times where we found her like trying to pour herself an RC
Well,
Cola.
that's your first problem. Is you shouldn't be letting babies try to pour their own cups of soda. Like that's your, that's.
It's a trailer park family. Things
Okay,
were a little wilder, a little
All right,
looser
all
by
right.
design.
Yeah. Okay. You're fair.
But today, I dropped Janine off at work, because I'm a great husband, and she did it for me for 8 years, 9
Yeah,
years.
you really
and-
can never ever say no to that. By the way, and that one, like you're kind of indebted. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you gotta play ball with that.
I saw her come out of the bedroom, and I had my headphones on, and I was listening to something and playing a game this
Yeah.
morning when she went to work, and I saw her and was like, I'm like, oh, hey, do you want me to take you to work? And she's like, oh yeah, that'd be great. And I'm like, okay, well, just let me, I got like 2 more minutes in this game.
And she's
then
there, like with her keys, like ready to go. Like, come on, like we gotta go now.
yeah, I'm just like, oh, it's like, well, she leaves like, she gets there like 20 minutes early because she's still like,
my wife
newish.
does this too, by the way. Like, so Teresa has to start work sometimes on Saturdays. We both have early days. I have to be at work at 8:30, which means I get up at 7:30. I get an hour. I get up an hour before my shift, knowing it's going to take me a little less than 30 minutes to get to work. I allow myself 30 minutes to get ready, and then I'm out of the house and gone. She gets up, and she has a 7:30 shift. She gets up, guess what time?
5 a.m.
Yep, exactly. On the nail on the goddamn
I figured.
head. Nail on the goddamn head. Like, you don't have to do that. And she lives and like 5 minutes away from her job. And so like her commute is far less. And why are you getting up this goddamn I don't get it. That's what the women's do, Mike. That's what they do.
I will say, as a guy who used to literally, I knew it would take me like 10 to 15 minutes to drive to work. I would get up, half an hour before I needed to be at work, run into the shower, get dressed. Hopefully I had a clean uniform, or I was just wearing a dirty uniform to work. I didn't care. And then I would leave. Nowadays, I am the guy who wakes up like tomorrow. I have to be in the building by 9:30. I will probably still wake up at like 6. Play video
for a
games
9:30 shift, you're waking up at 6.
6:30.
See what? You can play video games before you go to work.
I'll usually
I
play
don't-
video games for a little
No.
bit before work.
There's no. I get up.
I'll
I go
take
do
like
my
a
job.
20-minute poop.
No.
I gotta like rub one out
I
like
had a
when
friend
I
that-
wake up, and then one in the shower.
I had a friend that used to do this. He used to get up early so he could watch a full movie before he started his shift at like 9 a.m. Like, you're a psychopath. You're a fucking psychopath.
No, I mean
Who does
sometimes
that?
you gotta get your brain right.
No.
I gotta get my brain set up.
Nah.
Lately, I've been playing Apex again, and it makes me like real jittery and like gets my mind like real fired up before work. And then I go to work and I've been doing better, so I'm like, all right, maybe I
I guess it depends what time you're going in. What time you going in?
I gotta be there at 9:30, so I'll leave at 9.
But you do an hour of gaming before that?
Well, okay, so I'll get up at 6. I'll
Jesus.
immediately go to the bathroom and poop
Get the
for like
poop.
30 minutes.
So 6:30 out of the bathroom, done with poop.
6:30, I'll stop pooping,
Yeah.
jerk off. Then
So
about
6:45,
Yeah.
6:35 most days, 6:45 others. You get into the gaming, and then you
I
have
sit down.
a solid hour and a half of gaming type thing, probably an hour and a half.
So usually during that gaming time, I'll make sure I got a uniform, or I'll do laundry for an hour and a half. And then about 8:30, I'll stop gaming. And I'll go.
What about breakfast? Where does breakfast find its way in this scenario?
Oh, I don't eat breakfast most days.
Oh, okay. I'm a
just
fruit.
can't still.
I'm a fruit guy. I do a banana. I've been doing banana, 2-3 tangerines, and a thing of blueberries, and that's what gets me going. And then I get there to lunch. That's what I do.
So usually I won't eat or drink anything for those. I'll have like a little bit of water in the morning to wake up. But when I get to work, that's when I have my energy drink, and I'll usually have like a Celsius and a protein shake, and then I'm fine until like dinner.
What world are you people living in? Fucking, why do we have to start so early? We've got fucking SJ in the chat basically saying 5 a.m. every morning, no matter what. That's no. Why? Why are you doing that? Why? What are you doing to yourself?
Now I think, bro, my dad used to do it too, but my dad would have to be to work at 7 a.m. He would still wake up at like 4:30 in the morning.
But how do you? And then what time you're in bed by what? 9 o'clock?
He would be in bed by like 8:30.
Yeah,
because he'd get out of work at about 3, hang out with my mom, hang out with the dog.
It's no way to live. No way to live.
Well, I mean, now he doesn't do any of that.
Oh man, yeah. SJ says he used to since he was a kid. Like that's. I think maybe that's some people that are just early. Like I do think there is some truth to that. That there are people that are more just like inclined to be early risers, and other people that are more night owls. I was always more of a night owl, like from get go.
Dude, I don't think I'm either. I think it's more that I'm a non-sleeper.
You don't sleep well, huh? Yeah.
I don't sleep well. I'm generally, you know how people just like, oh man, I can't wait to get a nap. I'm looking forward to sleeping.
That's me. I mean, I'm a good sleeper.
Never.
I'm a great sleeper. I can sleep with the best of them. I'll fucking fuck you up in the competition of sleeping. I'm great. I am the best at sleeping. I can sleep. I can sleep right now. You want me to sleep? I'll sleep right now.
Now the thing is, like, if I get to sleep, it's hard to get me.
Well, yeah, I've witnessed that. I mean, you've literally done it on my couch in the breaks of shows. And I'm like, okay, well, he is not. He's out. I cannot wake this motherfucker up. I almost had to call the ambulance on you, just just in case. But no,
again, I'll sleep like 5 hours a night, and then go do a 14-hour shift, and do that 3 or 4 times in a row. And then I'm like, ooh, I'm starting to get like a little.
I feel like shit.
Tuckered out. I do definitely get like crankier by the end of those.
Yeah,
like,
I would
runs.
think, yeah.
But man, it's just, I don't know.
But even just being able to do it is kind of like a difference, because I honestly don't think I could do that. Like I don't think, like, I have done it and it's made me super miserable, and I don't think like our level of crankiness, I would be in a probably 15 while you're at an 8. You know what I mean? Like there's a level where it's just like I don't want nothing to do with nobody, and I don't give no fucks about nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think I've very much like SJ ever since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
My dad would wake up at like 5, 6 in the morning, and I'd be up already in the living room playing Super Nintendo, just
just ready to go.
Getting at it, bro. Getting at it.
So,
Before school, getting at it.
So you never gave your final opinion, and do this before we go to break. What, like, RC Cola? Like, it sounds like you were a little, like, bummed with it, and
I went to Fancy Fruit and Produce today to pick up some stuff after I dropped Janine off. Pick this bad boy up. Man, it tastes like a goddamn Czech Cola.
yeah. That's what
This
I
is
thought
supposed
it
to be a
would.
brand name.
Nah, I always knew it was basically just bullshit. Not as good as Coke. RC Cola, you might like the branding. It's kind of bullshit, though. It's kind of bullshit.
Royal Crown Cola, you really let me down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
Now, we'll say my other purchase that I got from the old Fancy Fruit today, Fruit Splash Canada Dry.
Fruit Splash Canada Dry.
Killer.
I haven't had that in years. Wow.
It's basically cherry ginger ale.
I like a good I like a good cranberry ginger ale too.
Oh man, dude,
Canada
they make a
Dry.
blackberry jam.
Remember that jam? Remember that jam from? Oh man. All right, we're gonna leave. We're gonna go to break on this here.
On cranberry ginger
Yeah,
ale.
because do you remember this jingle? Canada Dry cranberry ginger ale. Yeah, this one. I bet you it's this one. Song. What's the song? Give me the song. There we go. It's gotta be. It's the holiday. No. Give me the song. Yeah, I think I found it. All right, here we go. See if you remember this.
It's not too sweet. It's refreshing, crisp, and neat. Canada Dry ginger ale. It's not too sweet. It's not too sweet. I repeat, it's not too sweet. Canada Dry cools your thirst. It's a taste that can't be beat. It's not too sweet.
Remember that? Remember that?
I don't remember this commercial, but I'm glad they went Asian guy with a big gong.
Yeah, no, they did definitely do an Asian guy. Like, I want the old school song. Maybe I have to type in like 90s or something, because it's pulling up older ones. I guess it was around, in the night. I think I got it.
Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart.
Crisp, clean.
Jesus.
Canada Dry regular and diet
I didn't
ginger
know
ale.
Louis Armstrong
Always
did a
light,
Canada
always
Dry commercial.
Always young at heart.
Here is the best part. You'll have a head start if you are among the very young at heart.
It's not the right one.
Canada Dry and comic.
No, it's not the right one.
Also,
not the right. Canada Dry cranberry ginger ale. It's not too sweet. It's not too sweet. You remember that? That's the one I remember. I can't find it.
Anyway, where'd you get aim? But anyway, yeah, let's do
Shut up, kids.
I don't see anything.
Do the jingle.
Anyway.
Do the jingle rail.
You don't have to be sweet to be good.
I haven't found it.
Canada Dry ginger ale. It's not
too sweet. It's not too sweet. I don't think it exists on the YouTubes, bro, which is nuts.
Everything exists on the YouTube.
You would think.
It's not too sweet. It's refreshing, crisp, and neat. Canada Dry ginger ale is not too sweet.
It's not too sweet. I repeat, it's not too sweet. Canada Dry cools your thirst. It's a taste that can't be beat.
I mean, there's like different old versions of it where they're singing in like different versions.
Everybody was doing one.
Yeah, everybody was doing one, but like the one from the 90s, I can't find it. There you go. It's not too sweet. Too sweet.
Woo!
Good brothers. That being said, I think it is time that we actually take a little bit of a breaky poo. Mike.
Oh, yeah?
You could come back and do a 2.0 so that the people can get a second dose of Oh No for the rest of their week with me.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
All right, that's badass. We're going to do that. I got some good clips. I think you're going to find this fairly high rated on the clips scale. Yeah, guys, We're going to take a break if you're listening live. By the way, thank you for listening live over at twitch.tv/ONRS live. If you are listening to the podcast, then we'll find you later on in your week and when the next show gets released. But we will be doing an episode of Oh No 2.0 this week. And yeah, it's just going to be me and Mikey. But yeah, we'll take a little bit of a breather here, and we'll come back with some more on our radio show. How about that? That sounds like a good idea. Mikey.
Yeah.
What do we tell these people when we get out of here for the first segment? Your dreams, fucking dreams, baby.
Fucking dreams.
All right. Welcome.
What was that?
I hit the solo button instead of the unmute button. My bad. Anyway, welcome, everybody, to this week's episode of Oh No 2.0. As I like to put it, it's your second dose of Oh No for the week. I'm here still with Mikey B. Having a great night, man. We had a great 1.0, episode 634. And so we figured we'd stick around and give you a little bit more,
Owen.
Yeah.
You do know what has happened in between since I have been on the show?
What's happened?
I went and visited our good friends, Samantha and Travis.
Oh, that's right.
I did a little episode of the old Semantics.
Shout out to those guys. How was everything going over there at the Semantics compound?
I mean, Sam and Trav are still doing great. They look healthier than ever.
Pepper Ann biting your ankles?
No, man, Pepper Ann didn't bite, but she also was very skittish. She could come up and sniff you, but you couldn't reach down to touch her yet.
Same with me. The last time I went when they first got her, but it's good that you went. I listened to the first part. I know that there's an after party, but I have not listened to the after party yet. But I was proud of you, Mike. You went on there and you did a real solid job representing us as on a radio show, and I think you handled yourself quite like a gentleman for once.
Yeah, I did reference the last time we were on, where we ended an episode with a bit about telling more sex assault jokes. Had to bring that back up. But it was a good episode. I was with Pabone, our good friend Eric Pabone.
Yeah, I've never actually met Pabone. I wouldn't say good friend. I've never met him. I've never met Pabone.
He's my good friend.
We should get him on the show. I'd like to talk to Pabone. Seems like a nice guy.
He's an aging punk rocker and an artist. He's a real swell cat. I love the dude.
It's funny you bring that up too, because there's a cast of characters in this town that appear on certain shows, whether it be Semantics, Tom and Dan, our show, other the remnants of the podcast community, I would say, that once was. And these are like kind of like your new crowd of people. And I as another guy, I want to get on the show, that I sort of feel like I know but have never met in person, and that's one Kenny Samsel. Some seal, Kenny Samsel.
Yeah, old tall Kenny.
I don't think he's even that tall.
Oh no, he's tall.
Is he
He's over
tall?
6.
Oh,
He's an
okay.
over 6er. He's a
Alright,
big
well,
boy. He's a tall boy.
You gotta think about this though too. Like I've been hanging around. I hung around with Ty, who is 6'9",
That's
for
true.
so many years that anybody like I feel like the way Ty feels, like when everybody says like, oh, he's a tall dude, and he says like he's 6'4" or something, Ty goes, like in his head. I sort of feel that for Ty because I've known a tall dude that's 6'9".
A taller dude.
Yeah. I'm like, 6'7", nothing. Like
nothing. I got a 6'9" in my roster.
Yeah. And then no, that's the thing. In my roster, I do have the actual podcasting wizard giant. I found him. You can't have him. And that's the thing. I even sent Ty a thing. Did you see what I sent him this week? I put it in our little group thing.
I believe so. Maybe.
Yeah. I was trying to just convince Ty because there's some carnival or some bullshit, and
They need a sagely wizard.
Yeah, they need a wizard to go interact with crowds. I'm like, Ty, this is your calling. Go,
dude. I've seen it's the same ad about 3 or 4 times today now.
Oh, really?
But it's not the same ad as yours.
Oh,
but I've
okay.
seen literally the same ad like 4 times today. Somebody really wants me to audition for a live D&D podcast like a D&D playthrough podcast.
Oh, that they're doing that as an ad now, like become a D&D podcaster.
I guess it's for one like specific one that is like starting up very soon.
What are you gonna do it? Why don't you do it? Why don't you give it a shot?
I'm thinking about it. If I see it again, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, why not? Why not?
What if I became?
If you
what
get
if I had
money,
to quit the show, Owen? What if I became so?
I won't
far
let
ahead
you.
to
No,
quit the
I won't
show?
let you do that. Like you're not allowed to do that. So like you're.
What if I have to quit my regular job and then they really start pressuring me like the old Clear Channel? They're like, you're doing too much unclean nonsense on that little podcast you're a part of.
Yeah.
You gotta quit that shit. It's ruining the brand.
We'll do 2 weeks of relatively clean content, and then we'll go back to what we were doing, and no one will be any of the wiser. That's what everyone does.
We'll do we just have to do like the first 10 minutes of the show, clean content.
Yeah, and we'll talk about like schools in Orange County or something. Like we'll make it
a little bit. I'll talk a little bit of D&D every week. I'll be like,
and then this campaign and whatnot, and like
we'll give them free advertising.
Yeah, and then it gets to the 15-minute mark, and we're like, all right, guys, we're in. Dicks. Let's talk dicks.
I farted on a dick today.
I farted on a dick.
We literally make it the most childish thing like we could. We're like, I saw 2 boobs today and they had dicks for nipples. Whoa.
Dicks for nipples. I mean, that's a good band name. I mean, that's
not even very original because that happened in high school. There was a picture that went around and it was shitting dick nipples.
Oh.
It was a set of tits.
It was a set of tits with a dick.
With dicks for nipples, and the dick nipples were spraying feces.
Wow. And you did a twirly motion as if it was going around the tit.
It was like an
circle.
implied, because like the shit was like on like a curve.
So it was dripping down the center cleavage of the titty?
Yeah, there was a little bit of shit spray around in the image.
All right.
Look it up. I'm sure it still exists on the internet.
I'm gonna have to probably find that, just for later, just for reasons. I mean, I'm not into fecal play or anything, but I kind of want to see this. Now I'm interested. Now I'm interested in this. Do you have an underrated band or artist that you want to provide for me today? Because I feel like these need to be brought up more often, Mike, where you're just like, why does nobody talk about this act, right? Or they shit on this act, and it's like, they were actually pretty good. And I'm finding a lot of these just in the 80s, right? Like this is kind of like where I'm coming from. Like before we get to, because obviously, like you could play me some Creed, and I'd be like, like
I do like Creed though.
Do you? Do you?
I enjoy. There is like a part of me that I think it's not like an ironic joy. I think there is a part of me that likes some of those. Like,
You actually like the like.
I like them a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. After we play this, we'll go to that and we'll listen a little bit of it and just see if we can like. Okay, I get where it is, right? Like.
I can. I'll 100% love.
So I got one of those. I've had it for like the last month.
Okay.
And it's Bananarama. Okay. And I'm telling you, Bananarama. Listen how awesome.
Underrated,
bro. Underrated as fuck. Listen, I'm just pulling this off YouTube.
I think Bananarama is appropriately rated.
Dude, no. Bananarama is underrated as. Listen to this. Dude, it hits hard. Come on, Mike. Come on.
Baby, she's got it.
Dude, the production on this is fire, dude. Listen how hard that kick drum is. That hard fucking the bass line. The synth line in here. It's a bop, dude. It's a bop. No? Are you in or are you out? Are you in or are you out? I mean,
no. I mean, I enjoy that. That was really poppy, like really dancey. I could probably see myself going to the iBar night. I believe it was.
Yeah, and enjoying yourself dancing along with a goth chick to Bananarama. Some fat goth girl dances with Mike B to Bananarama. It's the best night of his life at iBar.
Can I be honest? I never really got into the goth girls.
Yeah,
it
but
doesn't do any. Goth and pinup are two styles that are.
I like it. I like pinup. Goth, not so much. I like pinup.
Both of them can get out of here.
All right. Well, to each their own.
Yeah.
Bananarama
You did nail half of it. You did. It would have been a vat check.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, got somewhere. They also had this banger too, dude. Hang on. Oh no, I fucked it up. 1 second. Let me pull the right fader up. Dude, tell me this song right here gives me like vibes.
Isn't this Blue Summer?
Well, what did you call it?
Blue Summer?
It's not what it's called though.
Oh. I don't know what it's called then.
Cruel Summer.
Oh, Cruel Summer. Cruel Summer.
Yeah, dude. But listen to the production on this. It's fucking awesome. What did they say? Things I can't understand. It's too close to comfort. This heat has got right out of hand. Oh, dude, what a hook. What a chorus. Like, what a just well put song. Cruel Summer is. Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah. I'm just saying Bananarama might be better than most people assume Bananarama really is. It's pop, it's all that, 80s cheese, right? But the actual musicality and the actual like songs themselves are actually pretty fucking good.
No, I will give it to you. Bananarama is a little bit better than I didn't know that they did those songs.
Yeah.
I will say, yeah, I actually kind of enjoyed that a lot.
See, I'm gonna do this
Solid
every
job.
week, right? I'm gonna try and find and we can even have off-air discussions about because I only think we don't need to each one bring one to the table, right? We need to find one a week that's kind of like an underrated band or artist that's like that everybody has a preconceived notion of. That's like I think that's where I think it is, right? And we explore like, okay, maybe this preconceived notion is a little unfair, or like we're not really hearing like we said, let's look up Creed, right? To see.
Oh, well, okay, so we all know what Creed is, and Creed
Yeah.
I think gets a lot of their own guff. There's a band that I think got a really unfair turn because their big breakout song was a cover. But they actually did a lot of really good music on that album that I think gets overshadowed by the fact that they did one really solid cover.
All right.
And that's Alien Ant Farm.
Alien Ant Farm with Smooth Criminal kind of got overshadowed by that, yes, for the rest of their career, even though they made some good pop punk music before that. That was
and there are even other songs on that album that are actually really killer.
They're not my cup of tea. I'll be honest with you. I know what you're Smooth Criminal, all that stuff. I get it, but no, they've just never been my cup of tea. But with Creed, for instance, Creed has a very, I think when you think of Creed, you think of, I mean, let's be real, Mike. Isn't it kind of associated with new age Christian douchebags? I was trying to find the easiest like few words to associate with what I do with them, and that's it. New age Christian douchebags, like a little bit.
It was like rock Christian charlatans basically, because none of them really lived a very
I'm even
Christian
talking
life.
about just the people that listen to it.
Those guys.
There's
were
there's a lot of like douche bro energy that is Creed, but it's also this like fake Christian energy. They might as well be a Christian rock band in a lot of ways. Like right, like because of their, just what they put out, like as far as their material, it blended. It was very in between. Like Seven Dust is like that, and like other bands are like that, right? And that's fine. But what would you say? What's like, because you said like, they got some bangers, or I don't think you said that, but you're like, what? So what is your song? What is your go-to then when it comes to Creed? What are you throwing on?
It's
what's the one? Is it just
Hold Me? There's Hold Me Now, which I think is probably my favorite Creed song.
That's not a Joy Division cover, is it?
I really don't think that.
You know a song
covered Joy Division.
Yeah, but you know what I'm thinking of. Hold me now.
My heart.
Stay.
No, they didn't do that.
Yeah,
they didn't do that.
I wanted to hear that. So I want to hear Creed do that. Hold me now. Hold my heart. Like I could see him doing some weird shit. But, no, that's not the name of the song, because I typed it in and it comes up with One Last Breath. Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah, probably. That's probably
right,
it. One Last Breath.
Let's give it a One Last Breath over here.
Oh, it's so good.
Is this it? Is this the one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's check out some Creed together.
Oh yeah.
Man. It does kind of hit. You're not wrong. Please come. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I forgot him on the mountaintop there. He's always,
bro.
Why is he always on a mountaintop? Scott Stapp, always on a mountain.
You can't sing anything else.
No, he can't sing.
You can't
unless
sing
he's-
from anywhere lower.
Yeah.
I don't believe.
He's always got to be on some tower of some description or mountain.
He just likes to be higher up than everybody else.
And oh, yeah, there's the piece that fell off the cliff. All right, here we go.
I'm 6 feet from the edge and I'm thinking
Jesus.
It's so.
Hang on.
It's
Stop
also
it.
really-
Stop talking. 1 second. Mikey,
Yeah.
why is this good and making me feel good things in my brain?
It's Creed and it's good.
I,
Oh, when it drops and gets hard. Oh, it gets hard.
dude, this fuck. This is good.
Oh, yep.
Dude, wait a minute. Listen to him. Listen to him. Yeah. You get it, Scott Stapp.
Here it comes.
Holy fuck! Yes! Dude! Wait a minute.
It's good.
Holy shit.
I told you.
Wait a
Creed,
minute.
Creed is way underrated, and especially they're new. I think they made some newer stuff that is all Scott Stapp trying for redemption. But this original album,
That song was good, dude. Am I gonna
that's
have to
not
go
bad.
back and dig up my old Creed CDs in the back of an old CD album that's, the CD album? I've got
The
them
book.
somewhere. I've got a book. I bet you I've got I think it was the second album. Remember the second album? I think the first album had My Own Prison, right? That was the first one. So it was the second one, which I think maybe this was probably on it. Was this the second one?
My Own Prison was their first album. This was
that
probably
one?
Human Clay.
The second one, if I saw the album
That's-
cover, maybe it might have been.
It's the second one
That
is like
one.
a clay man like breaking out of
I
a
think
road.
I think that might be it.
And then you've got Weathered, which was their 01. And after that, they did one more album, Full Circle, in 09, and then it just turns into
The tree one. What about the tree one? What's
That's
the tree
Weathered.
one? That one. That was the one that I had. The tree one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
What was on that one? That 2001. 2001.
that's got my It's got My Sacrifice.
Yeah, but it had other ones. I definitely didn't love that song that much. I liked the other songs on the tree one.
Human Clay. Human Clay had With Arms Wide Open. That was one we all really enjoyed.
Yeah. See, I'm
My Own Prison.
That track though. What was the name of that one? Breath something. What
One
was it?
Last Breath.
One Last Breath. That one. Tell you what, buddy, got me.
Yeah, dude. I think if we were really gonna, I think Weathered is probably the album we all really kind of.
I think so, right?
Gravitated to.
Yeah.
Because you've got One Last Breath, Bullets, My Sacrifice. There was quite a lot. I think that was probably the album we all really were like, whoa. Creed.
I remember once we got it and I rode him it was when I think I just got my first car or hadn't had it long and I gave a friend a ride or something in it and I played it on my CD player in my car and I remember this song will always stick with me about that fucking dumb album because he was kind of an idiot from the South and probably still is. And it was kind of like never going to leave a small town and didn't really have a lot of music knowledge. Let's just say he wasn't. I was in that phase in high, I was getting trendy. I was starting to understand subculture things, right? And he didn't. He was a jock.
Starting to get a little snobby with the music.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. But he was a jock, and I remember him saying he's just like, man, that Creed album, it rides hard. And I remember, I just to this day rides hard with this album. You know.
Holding on, I'm 6 feet from the edge, and I'm thinking.
Hold me down. I'm 6 feet from the edge and I'm thinking. Maybe 6 feet ain't so far down.
Dude, I'm gonna start a Creed cover band.
You
imagine how much if you could do the voice right, you know, and you had the right setup. Imagine how much money you could make at like weddings and events being a Creed tribute band.
Dude,
does that exist? Oh my god, we have to look that up. Dude. I'm sorry. Creed tribute band, does that exist? What do you think? Before I
signs, I mean, there's one right here. Signs of Sacrifice.
Oh, so they do. Oh, wow.
Oh, they're like they must be like the big one. There's Almost Creed, Torn.
We need to get an interview with these guys.
Rain, which is a SoCal tribute to Creed.
Oh my god. Okay, all right. Let me play one of Signs of Sacrifice. Seem like they are really dominating the YouTube space with their tribute band. Okay, I'm gonna play the audio here from their official promo video. We'll just check that out. Let's see what
Signs of Sacrifice is apparently supposed to have spot on vocals.
All right, let's see. This is the tribute right now. Okay, Mike.
Oh, getting into it.
Wow. Fucking right.
Why aren't we going to see Signs of Sacrifice?
How do we book Signs of Sacrifice? You know what okay. I'm going to say something that might make sense to, maybe it makes sense to you. It probably won't make sense to a lot of other people. But I'm going to say something that I think makes complete sense to me. Signs of Sacrifice sounds like I4.
Yeah. This is a little new metal-y Creed.
Yeah. I don't like it as much as the original, I'll be honest. But Signs of Sacrifice, you know what I mean by that? With the I4 reference, there's something there, right? Like it sounds like 101 JRR, the rock station. As you're cruising down fucking I4. You gotta pee, you're a construction worker. You gotta get home, you're stuck in traffic. Yeah, that's what that sounds like. I don't like it. Give me, if you've got a good, maybe we'll give them, all right, they got a higher, this is their higher cover, all right? We'll judge them on that.
That's a fair.
Yeah. All right, it's a live video here. I pull it up on the wrong computer so you can't see it, but he does it. But here's the problem with it. He doesn't have the hair. He doesn't have the rasp, and he doesn't have the hair. And those are like I will give you, if you've got the hair and the weird nose thing that Scott Stapp has, you get to not have the rasp. But you've got to have 2 out of the 3 characteristics. Yeah. Rasp, nose, hair, right? If you've got rasp and nose, I'll let you off without having the hair. This guy doesn't have the rasp, doesn't have the hair.
Yeah.
He's got a beard. Scott's got never had a beard.
No, he's been a baby face. He's been just a clean shaven little boy man.
Yeah. I mean, all right. Doesn't sound anything like him. Doesn't sound
Nah.
anything fucking like him.
Bro,
Get out of here. Signs of
my
sacrifice.
my cousin used to play a lot of this like style of
Yeah.
music, like new rock, new metal, like alt rock, and he was a better stap than these nerds.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like give me 3 weeks, I could sing more like Scott Stapp than this dude. You know what I mean?
You know what, Owen?
Yeah.
All these nerds
Yeah.
really messing up Scott Stapp for me.
I don't
Really
like
got me
it.
kind of upset.
Yeah. You know what?
Kind of angry.
Can I help you with that? I think there might be something that I could do as buttons I can press and things that you enjoy. You know, like to
I
pump
think it's
you
time
up.
to press the button.
All right, is it time to bring forth the clips? Bring them forth, Mikey.
You know you want 'em, baby. You know we got 'em, baby. You know you want 'em, baby. You know we got 'em, baby. Clips. You know we got 'em, baby.
Clips. Yeah, so clips is the portion of the show where I expose myself, Mikey. I expose the things I am looking at to you, you know? See what I did
also,
there?
Owen-
Did that freak you out? I was going to expose myself? Or
No,
did-
that's
or-
not what freaked me out.
or
I
did you
mean,
like that?
That's just you.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely did not. Was not suggesting clips.
Oh.
But all the wording that you were using leading up to what I was suggesting, I'm like, oh well. I mean, you got to do all that to do the thing I'm suggesting. So I literally thought you were like following what I was on.
Totally did a different one. Went in a different direction.
All good.
because keeping you guessing, buddy. Keeping
Oh, that's
you
good. That's good on a professional program.
keeping you on your toes. Oh, come on. Mine was better. Mine was definitely the direction we should have gone. The direction
Definitely.
we should have gone in. All right. We all like clips. It makes us feel good. It makes Mikey. Bustin' makes you feel good. Like clipping makes you feel good too, right?
Are you comparing clips to busting?
Yeah. I want to do a thing with the Ghostbusters. You know that part where he goes, "Bustin' makes me feel good." I'm going to do that where it's going to be just like, clipping, makes me
Oh, I thought you were gonna go into a masturbation route with it.
Well, kind of whatever. Anyway, I figure, doing some clips would make you feel better. This first one is something I think that you might have even seen in a mutual group, but I found it funny and worthy of talking about. And it is a TikTok clip of a man who kind of has, if you're like me and you want to travel, see the world and do it on a bit of a budget, this guy has some great travel tips for you. And this is from some podcast. It's one of those ones that they like set up like their shit on mobile equipment on like the side of the San Francisco Pier or something, and they talk to randos. You have seen these on the TikToks where people just like, oh, we're gonna ambush.
They're interviewing street randos.
It's like, but it's like ambush podcast style. And like, I don't really like that, and I don't like this, but I do like this guy who, had this to say, and I think that you'll find it pretty interesting too, Mike. Here we go.
What do you do for fun? I mean, it sounds kind of macabre, but I like.
What do you do for fun? Is what they asked the dude.
Okay.
And he goes, well, it's kind of macabre, but here we go.
This sounds kind of macabre, but I like to go to visit a country after a terrorist attack.
So, I mean,
that's macabre, all right.
All right. I like to go visit a country after a terrorist attack. Of course, the teenage bros are laughing. Oh my God! Whoa! But it is funny. We're doing literally exactly the same thing and playing their clip. So they win.
After a terrorist attack, the horse has already left the barn. It's cheap. I was in Istanbul after they had that bombing at the airport. So I went there.
Jesus Christ.
And there was a bus, supposedly 50 people. How many people do you think were on the bus?
2.
One.
You.
So I got the whole tour.
And they're like, why are you
the
here?
whole bus. And I stayed at a $300 a night hotel for $30.
Oh, my.
So this guy might be genius, by the way.
Smarty.
All right. So there is something there. There is something there. Like right after the terrorist attack. It's like what our friend Daniel says. I think he said this before, where Like you almost want to be on the next flight after the one that crashes because the odds are lower.
I was
right. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
What am I trying to say? You're getting what I think what I mean. But
Yeah.
like,
No, he's basically saying that like you are. It's way less likely that there's going to be another terrorist attack directly after the first one.
Exactly. Well, I think terrorism might be slightly different, but either way, here we go. This guy. I was in Morocco.
in Morocco after they chopped off two girls' heads off. and I was on this trail, on the same trail that they were on.
So wait, when you...
So he was in Morocco, same place as like these girls were hiking, got their heads chopped off. I'll go hike there.
read the news of a terrorist attack, you're like, time to hit orbits.
You get really good deals, and the security is fantastic. So I've gotten flights to Peru, round trip for $280.
And what happened right before that?
Oh, there's probably an earthquake.
So 9/12/2001, you're on a flight to New York. You're like, let's do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, hate the guys that are doing it, but the guy that is talking to him is actually pretty hilarious, right? And he's talking about like earthquake in a place, go just fly there. Yeah, I got a trip to Peru. I never thought of that. What do you think? What do you think of this idea, Mike?
I mean, I agree with his logic.
Yeah.
It's definitely probably the best way to see places. But also, well, if you went to see something really specific in a place that had been terrorist attacked, there's a likelihood that maybe that thing isn't really there.
Yeah, I don't know
anymore.
Yeah, there is. I mean, terrorist attack also. Like, I don't think they stop at one and it's done, right? It's a high chance that it could happen again, is what I'm saying.
I feel like it'd be a weird. You basically have to be like waiting around with your like money ready to go, and then boom. Okay, now we're going to.
Yeah,
now we're going.
It'd be right now. It'd be like
war-torn Afghanistan.
Well, it'd be right now. It would be us just deciding, hey, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna just go hang out in Gaza for a little while or something. You know, like.
Yeah.
Probably not. Like I guarantee you we could get there for probably pretty cheap. But
could we get out of there for very cheap?
That's the other part.
Could we get out of there at all?
Yeah, exactly. Nah, I mean there's some logic to it, but I thought it was funny and the guy seemed like a good dude, but yeah, kind of crazy. Anyway.
Man, that was a very abrupt I get exactly what he's saying, but boy, does that seem a little insensitive when you have to kind of fully explain it.
Yeah, you do. But it's seemingly like this happened because there's some protest going on, it seems like, or something. Or this dude's just sitting on the street with a support free speech sign, So this guy's, this guy's kind of, probably a little crazy, but, I don't blame him. Anyway. We're going to move on because I need you to see one of the most harrowing tales that I've ever seen in my life, Mikey. And the listeners need to hear about this. It's explained very well. You will get to see the video of it. But it's a tale between, oh dear, I believe there are three people. Or not three people, but three entities involved in this tale. There's Tony, there's Mackerel, and there is one other entity that will come in later. But I want you to check this out because it's a really interesting tale. I'm gonna leave it playing and grab my other vape because my one died. But I will be right back. Check it
Fellas, I've been keeping a secret, and it's time I came clean. This is my cat, Tony. He's a very sweet, beautiful, and affectionate man. We met last November right after Thanksgiving, and you know, he was having a rough time, and I heard he was looking for a new home. And without really deliberating too much, kind of making an intuitive decision, which I heard means like moronic or something, I said, hey, you can come stay with me. That was 8 months ago. This fatso got settled in at my place pretty quick. Starts waddling
He's a
around,
fat
fed,
kid.
jiggling like he owns the freaking joint. He loves laying down in ways that emphasize his unique figure. He'd struggle to climb the tree, and he would get stuck in the tunnel. You know, fat guy stuff. But I convinced him he should get on a diet, and, you know, the vet says he's a healthy weight now, believe it or not. So, I think he's just got like fat guy energy, you know, like a fat aura about him or something. He's very chatty. He'll talk your ear off, won't you, Tony? Which, honestly, that was kind of nice, because I've had a rough couple months myself, and he was good company. You know, Mackerel is around, but he's a little more reserved, to say the least, you know. The two of them, you know, they get along. They had to be separated at first because Mackerel would not stop fucking with Tony. And
So Tony and Mackerel, right?
Tony sits like a man.
Yeah, he does. You're beginning to understand the tale of these two, you know, cats. You know, one cat existed there in the house, and Tony was brought into the equation. As I play this, you will find that the internet is very divided on the feud between Tony and Mackerel and who is in the right. And I want your opinion as to whether or not you are a Tony or a Mackerel man.
said fuckery would be met with hisses, which Mackerel would then ignore because he was so hyped to have a big brother to finally freaking duke it out with. But after a few days, they were like this. Freaking homies. Honestly, it was an incredibly auspicious outcome. Made me think there were good things to come.
Obviously, started off nice, but then
Now,
things
they
got
get
a
into
little
arguments
twisted.
sometimes, but who freaking doesn't, you know? And they get it out in a healthy way. They freaking wrestle. It's awesome. Mackerel would kind of just kick Tony's ass all the time early on, so he'd try to just run away, but nowhere was freaking safe.
Also, could we just talk about the dude, by the way? That's the host of this thing, the owner of this, like... He's got to be a comedian. He's got to be a comedian or something, right?
Right.
So like I'm not that dumb, but he's the perfect person for this. Like if that makes any sense. Like you couldn't do this without this dude's voice. It's great. All right, here we go.
He was vulnerable in the apartment, honestly. To stay safe, Tony had to be vigilant, always. Trying to get up into his cat tree? Trying to play with his freaking toys.
Oh, he's stealing everything he has.
Trying to sleep, even.
Yeah.
Mackerel had no remorse. He just wants to fight. The threat of Mackerel loomed over Tony. He couldn't escape it.
It's the greatest thing ever, though, right? Like this movie. Like, isn't this a good movie? Aren't you interested in this?
It is pretty dramatic for just being about two cats.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
But again, like it's just the guy's voice. I know he's doing like a bit. It just doesn't sound like it should be coming out of him.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look like it should, right?
And so, rather than escape, Tony chose to fight.
Oh shit!
Gonna get him.
The
No,
hunter
he got him.
became the hunted.
Tony,
the fat victim turned into a fucking savage. And genuinely, it seemed like Tony had a vendetta. You know, Mackerel's fighting attitude always seems kind of playful, but Tony, he seems like he wants to commit a murder. He's got this slow walk that he does. Freaks the fuck out of Mackerel. And me.
Oh, he does kind of just like.
I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
He's not playing
slowly
games.
progress.
So Tony gained confidence at the cost of becoming a monster. And Mackerel still loves every second of it. It's all just one big fighting game to him. Tony's like a heavy class, right? He uses his mass to his advantage, freaking pins him down. It's crazy. Whereas Mackerel's more of a rogue class, you know, swift pounce attacks, jump strikes, that kind of thing. I mean, it's the greatest fighting game of all time. I'm freaking convinced of it. I'm so jealous I wish I could play myself.
3, 2, 1.
Ooh, they are kind of vicious.
They are. I don't know if I need to show you much more. I just felt the need to show you this. If you want to see it, just look up Tony the cat. I think you'll find it. Maybe I'll post a link to it, you know, but it's pretty funny. Yeah. New York. Is that New York? Is it New York? What is that accent? What is it?
It does sound
I'm bad
like
with
tri-state area,
Yeah.
like maybe a little Jersey.
Yeah, it's got some Jersey. Yeah, a little bit of that, maybe.
A little bit of
Long
New
Island.
York.
Let's see if we hear it again. Probably fast forward.
I want to see the conclusion. Whatever happens to the two of them.
But, you know, with two cats, it's official. You know, it's set in stone. I'm a freaking cat guy. I don't know how it happened. Maybe the fumes from that piss and shit freaking toxoplasmosisized my brains and turned me into a cat person. All I know is that it happened. And that I'm a cat guy now. I accept that, okay? What I don't accept is how we're treated by society. These assholes think men who own cats are weirdos. What's weird about a man having a couple cats? Tell me. Seriously, is it?
What do you think about that? Is it weird for a single man to have a couple cats?
No, I don't think so. I think it's totally okay. I mean,
Hugh, my neighbor, you know Hugh very well. He's a cat dude. He's proudly a cat dude, you know. And
Yeah,
I
he's
was,
got two.
I was a cat dude, but I also like have my wife, so it's like a little different. But like when you're a single guy owning cats, like people look at you like you're a weirdo. Whereas if you own if you're a single guy that owns a dog, you're not as weird.
No, but I think it's because they always attribute dogs to like a masculine effect. Like, oh, a man.
I
and
guess
his
that's
dog.
what I guess that's what it is, right? Like cats are more feminine in perception.
Yeah, it's just. Well, I mean, and I think it's also like another thing where it's like men, you know, we're providers, we're protectors, and the dogs do need us to provide for them, whereas the cats,
Yeah.
they don't really need you as much.
I like cats more.
Is how we're treated by society. These assholes think men who own cats are weirdos. What's weird about a man having a couple cats? Tell me. Seriously, is there something about my behavior that's weird? Is there something I'm doing with my cats that's freaking weird to you, pal? I just want to talk about it. That's it. I just want to have a conversation. Because let me tell you, it's not weird.
I want to
'Cause
hear
if
this
you
guy's normal
had
voice.
the privilege of meeting this cat right here, Mr. Tony, you'd love him too. With your whole freaking heart, okay? Unreserved, unabashed. You would love this cat. Because he's the most beautiful, the sweetest cat you'll ever meet. Okay? So I'm done with the stigma. I'm a cat guy now. Okay? Fellas, I don't know if this changes your opinion of me, but
no.
I'm sick of freaking hiding from it. I love my cats. Yeah. I'm a cat guy. That's all I gotta say.
It actually does make me a little touched because I've been going through it where I really think we just need an animal.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since we lost Ginger. You know, we go back and forth, but as much as I want the companionship of an animal, it's so nice not having to worry about it worry about it, an animal, and worry about cleaning it and feeding it and doing all the things that come with an animal, that I'm like, I don't know. It seems to always outweigh it. Like I'm like,
That is true. I
you
I
know?
can see a little bit of that. But again, that's also why I kind of was looking at cat over like anything
Yeah,
else.
yeah. I might have cats adopt you. That's the thing. They,
So are
in
you
a weird
saying that
way.
if another little, not a Rufio or what's the other cat's name?
There was a couple like in my
Yeah.
neighborhood. Like, yeah, there was Rufio. There was shit. What's oh God, Ringy.
Ringy.
He
There was
died.
Ringy and Rufio.
Well, Ringy died. Ringy died.
Poor
We,
Ringy.
yeah. Well, we think, and then he disappeared. That's for damn sure. Someone stole him or something.
Right.
And then yeah, like all the other cats in the neighborhood. Like now there's like new cats, but I'm skeptical of these new cats, bro. Like because they like I'll even try and like, oh hey, kitty, like, and they're all like skittish and shit. I'm like, well, no, you don't want to be adopted, then fuck you. See you later.
You're not gonna come over here and get a pet. You'll
Yeah.
never get in the house.
No, that's exactly right. And I ain't feeding you if you ain't getting no pet. I think I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I think that's very fair.
Oh, if I can't pet you, you damn sure
Okay,
cannot.
we're at least on the same page with that one. Then that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Sorry.
And I kind of got to pet you at least once. The only cats that really ever got around that were Taco and Taco Jr., the cats that were hanging out.
Oh, a cat.
Around,
Okay, a cat that is gonna come in my house has to come by multiple days in a row for pets. Not me trying to get pets for pets. Like, hey, I want to hang with you. You're cool. Like that's what I'm talking about. And that's kind of, I think that's how most cat relationships happen. And it like just want to hang out with you because they're smart. They know. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
We need to move on. Dude, we've all been pretty high. We've all been pretty drunk before. But have we
Pretty
ever
high right now.
have we ever been this dude? Mike, check this one.
What's up? What's up? How you feeling, man? I'm pretty lucky. Say what? I'm fine. I'm pretty fine. What? Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, that does. Okay.
Good.
I want to be honest. That does seem a little bit like 22, 23-year-old Mike B.
Yeah.
I've only been smoking weed for maybe like a year or two.
And it's hitting you pretty hard, and you're just like, whoa, fuck.
Well, I used to be, I've held many aliases and nicknames throughout my life, but one of them used to be Smile. Because the moment I smoked weed,
you get a dumb grin on your face. Yeah,
I get the goofy grin, and I couldn't get rid of it. And we only figured out after a little while that we had to like make a ritual out of it, and everyone had to Van Damme, and you had to like draw yourself down and like get yourself in the moment,
pull yourself together type thing.
Yeah, you had to Van Damme yourself real quick, and that could eliminate the smile for just a couple minutes.
Yeah, until it quickly came back. Yeah,
it would just, and they would be like, "Bro, you're fucking smiling again. What did we talk about?"
This dude is totally that though, right? Like this dude is.
Oh, he is. He could just be only high, but he's just so. So
how are you? I'm good. Can you finish these lyrics real quick? Okay.
So here's the thing. He asked him, "Can you finish these lyrics real quick?" And I've watched this video before, and I'm like, "Well, I don't know what song it is either." So like he is asking something that like this guy might not just legitimately not know, right?
But also him being this stoned.
Yeah, it's
does
not helping. It's not,
benefit.
yeah.
Back home again. I can't wait to get back on the road.
That's all he gives him. Back home again. I don't know what the fuck song that is.
I can't wait to be. No, that's On the Road Again.
Yeah,
back home.
and that's exactly where my brain went to as well. Like
He gave
on the
him
road
nothing.
again.
He
He gave
basically
him nothing.
gave
He
him,
gave
like,
back
nothing.
home again. Yeah. So like the kind of fault of the interviewer here on that part.
Again?
Yeah.
Back again? Dude, like Frodo Baggins? Like, I don't know if I know the song.
He did. I do like this though. He went like Frodo Baggins. Did you hear what he said there? The guy does the
He's
back
like-
hang
he's
on.
like,
Hang
he's
on.
like, back home again?
Back
On the road
again?
for the baggage?
Dude, like Frodo Baggins? Like,
Like Frodo Baggins. Like, but he's right because isn't that the name of his book or something close to it? Like on.
Yeah, it's like on the trail, on the road.
It's something like that.
No,
Like, so I actually can kind of get this guy's like train of thought on that one. Like this stone
I'm
dude.
also just stoned enough to understand where
Yeah.
he wants to go with it.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Here's the lyric. Back home again. Back home again. In Indiana land. Damn, man.
You do for
I don't know what the end of that was, but there you go. I just thought that was kind of funny and interesting, and like I don't blame the stone dude as much as I blame the terrible interviewer.
Yeah, dude, I mean, those are not two recognizable lyrics from
No.
any. They're two words.
Yeah,
He didn't even give him like a full bar or a full sentence.
but yeah, exactly.
Even.
Yeah.
Just
Alright.
kind of like stooped him.
All right, dude.
sausage hand.
Now it's time for sausage hand. Okay.
Okay, good.
Sausage hand.
So, Mike, I'm gonna let you describe this one to the people since you're more the food dude. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you know you.
That's fair, I guess. The guy had it looked like a pile of meat and a black latex glove. And as the video progresses, he's feeding more meat into a meat grinder.
Sausage hand.
Now he's seasoning his meat. Oh, real quick, I want to pause that video.
Moo glue. I don't know what that is.
So if that's meat glue,
Yeah.
like I assume it is,
Mhm.
I mean, it could be something different. It could be like a sausage specific, like a thing you need. But there is this stuff called meat glue that when they use it, they basically have to like wear like respirators and
Oh,
hazmat
wow.
suits because it will like fuck your lungs up. It'll like bond your lungs together.
Oh wow. Ugh. Like in the factory or like what are you talking about here?
I saw these guys using it in like a large scale like cooking operation.
Oh well, that's
and
just from the particles, dude. That's from like any particulate that's that can get and get into your lungs. I'm sure like anything like that is probably not good though. You know, like I've never even heard of it. I just assume you use flour for that reason, you know. But this will be something that obviously binds the meat together better than a more natural
a
ingredient,
slurry.
I suppose. Yeah. Here we go. Meat.
Sausage
Meat.
hand.
Oh yeah, sausage hand.
Oh, he's got a
So
little.
there we go. So he's got
he's putting a glove on it.
He has got a sausage making contraption that he is. I mean, honestly, this sausage is probably pretty good. This looks like it's probably pretty decent sausage.
Yeah, it looked pretty tasty.
Look at it. Okay.
Sausage hand. Sausage hand. Doodly doodly doo.
24 hours later, he must have put it in the fridge for 24 hours. Now he's got a glove. He filled a latex glove up with sausage. All
Right.
5 fingers. And he filled it up good too. Like you could tell
That palm is fat.
Yeah. Here we go. He cuts it off. Yeah. So now he takes now he's got made a mold of sausage hand, and he's gonna fry it in a frying pan.
Sausage hand.
I'm surprised that flipped. To be very honest.
Not bad. 4 out of 5.
There you go. Sausage hand.
Not bad, sausage hand.
Not bad. Not bad.
I mean, again, like I was really nervous that the like fingers would break off in the flip. because he did
Yeah.
not flip it gently.
No, he
was
didn't.
kind of aggressive.
That's probably
Um,
that moo glue. That's probably all that stuff to holding it together. Because if I did that, I feel like all the fingers would fall off.
Oh yeah.
But
I definitely don't think I could do that and have it work right.
maybe
I
that's
would
just
fuck that
maybe
up.
that's just quality sausage. Maybe that's
Quality moo glue.
Yeah, yeah. Want to do one more clip? Let's do one more clip. How about this? All right. We got two songs. You got two songs you can pick from. One is
Ooh.
called "Jesus Is My Nigga," and I'm sure it's probably been around on the internet for quite a while, but I don't think we've ever played it on the show. And then I've got "I Like Trucking." I like trucking. Which song would you like to hear tonight?
I do feel like we have played Jesus is my N-word. So I don't really know that we need to do that one again. But I would also say I'd like to hear I Like Trucking.
Okay. Well, this is a song from a British show called the Not the 9 o'clock. Not the 9 o'clock news is the name of the show. Have you ever heard of that one?
No.
Yeah, it was a thing. I don't think it's around anymore. Mark will let us know. Not the 9 o'clock news. But this is Rowan Atkinson's in this, and it's a song, kind of new wave, song. It's gonna be a hipster song today. About trucking and how he likes and how him and his friends they like trucking. Here we go.
Whoa!
I'm gonna need you, Mike. I'm gonna really need you to help narrate and explain this though to the audience. I'm gonna really need your help on this.
Sorry,
This
I
one's
just
tough.
got. They ran over a hedgehog
Yeah.
with a large truck.
The
and
video opens with a large truck running over a hedgehog.
Yep. And they run over a hedgehog, and now it's just like random B-roll of a truck going down the road.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna pause it, and so I can turn up the volume for you.
It does look like a young Mr. Bean.
Yeah, that's young Mr. Bean right there. Yeah,
with an old Ron Weasley on the very far side.
That's fairly accurate. Yeah.
And then Scott Baio in the middle.
Something like that. Yeah. Here we go. I'll play the tune, and you can give us the rundown if you don't mind.
So yeah, it's a lot of trucking shots.
I like trucking.
They're singing in the cab.
I like trucking and I like to truck. I like trucking.
Oh, they're singing in trucking. Oh my! And now he's marking off. It appears he's got magnets for all the things they've either hit today or in
the past.
Maybe it's a lifetime count.
Yeah, it's like as a trucker, you get to like kills on a like an airplane, right? You shut down a plane, you put a sticker on the side. That's what he's doing.
On the road, you must be brave and tireless. On the road, you can listen to the wireless. On the road, you eat cafe food with pride. You can throw it outside. The greatest kick in trucking, apart from knocking down a biker, is swinging up a roundabout and picking up a hiker. You're chatting up that piece of skirt who's sitting by your side. Then pop the crucial question.
This trucker did just pick up a hot lady.
Yeah. So this takes a turn, obviously, and that's why I need to bring it up. This clip, Mr. Bean is horny.
Yeah, the old is that Rowan
They're
Atkinson?
doing obviously a parody song about truckers, and all of a sudden they joking about like eating terrible food at like rest stops and all that, throwing up, and now he pulls over the hot piece that's on a hitchhiker, and he stops to give her a ride. Watch this, Mike.
I like trucking, and I like to
touching all over his truck like she'd be touching all over him.
She made a very sexual motion with her hand on the stick shift of the vehicle, for instance. Would that be accurate, Mike?
Yeah, and she's like caressing some of the knobs on the ship or on like the front of the truck. She's definitely like insinuating something.
And she's saying that she likes truckers.
All that makes this life worthwhile is waving on the car behind, giving him a smile. With glasses and with gratitude, he reads his little loans and meets another trucking down the road.
Talking about how awful truckers drive and being assholes because they rule the road. I used to feel
told
like
another
that.
driver, no, it's cool, come along, come around me, only to almost get hit by another truck.
You felt that. You've been in those situations though, right? Where there's like a few trucks that almost decide they're gonna like rule the road and like not get out of the way for anyone. Like it's annoying as hell.
So when I was a little bit younger, I had a small little Volkswagen hatchback with a 6-cylinder engine in it. It was a beautiful little fun hatchback. Had a lot of giddy up and go. And we were driving down 95. It was me and a buddy of mine. We were heading up to St. Augustine. So we're going down 95, and it's part of the 2-lane portion of 95. And we're kind of I keep getting blocked by this truck that will slow down in between passing trucks and then like speed up to pass trucks, but I just can't get past it.
Oh, it's the worst. Yeah, I've been in those situations. It's so annoying.
So, mind you, this car was really little. So I see my chance one time and I go for it. And I get around him.
Yeah.
I'm passing him in the right lane. And
Hauling ass, like foot on the fucking to the floorboard, probably trying to get your car to move as fast as it can to get around it.
Oh yeah, like I dropped down to like
I've been there.
Third gear. I'm doing like 80 miles an hour in third gear. The car is like, what? And I shoot this gap in between like the one semi is just like laying on the horn. But I pass him with maybe just like a couple feet behind me, and like my buddy could have reached his arm out and like smacked at the truck we were shooting on the other side. He was totally
you just saw the
not
gap and
very
did it.
pleased about it.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds dangerous as hell.
Oh yeah, but I did it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, that's terrifying, but I get it though. I mean, there are times with that, and it's a fun parody song.
Whoa! Are truckers gay?
I think there is some stigma about just horny gay truckers too. I mean, all those rest stops, all the like the gay shit remember when we used to hear about that? Get rest stops, that was a thing, like in society. Oh, don't stop there. Someone's gonna proposition you for gay sex at a rest stop, you know?
You're gonna go find a glory hole.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, wait, there's what?
Well, I think that's it. I think like they were just banging whatever they could, because they like sometimes they'd pick up a hitchhiker that would you know do something, and then sometimes they're on the road it's a long time on the road.
And could you give a trucker a handy for like moving you down the road like 100 miles?
I don't think a hundo is not. I think that's a good buy ratio. Like a handy a hundo. I think that's fair, right? That's a fair price. That's what I would say. I mean, inflation these days, right, Mikey?
Yeah,
inflation these days. Jeez.
Hand job used to be able to get you from here to like Texas.
Michigan.
With one hand job.
I got to Michigan one time with a handy and a half blow, and it got me to Michigan.
That's good miles.
Anyway, that
Clips.
Solid
you know you want 'em, baby. You know we got 'em, baby. You know you want 'em, baby. You know we got 'em, baby. Clips. You know we got 'em, baby. Clips.
All right, that's pretty good clips if you ask me.
Pretty great.
Pretty good. I mean, that's a 5-star. That's 5 stars. That's 5
That's
stars.
at least a 9 too.
Okay, that's higher than I would have anticipated you would have given it.
Oh,
That's
that was a good clips. I enjoyed it.
All right, thank you. I don't know if we're going to get to it tonight because I know we've got a fair few things that you want to get to, but I did kind of want to mention about how like a friend of mine was posting about like the cartoon that we all grew up with on our age group with Captain Planet, and I'm like, I just need to bring this up because the show of Captain Planet itself was terrible. We just remember the theme song and have nostalgia for the theme song. But if you ever watch that show, it fucking sucks, dude. Captain Planet isn't a good cartoon. Was never a good cartoon back in the day. I never enjoyed it. Your thoughts?
Okay, so one critique I remember making distinctly about Captain Planet was how awesome they showed everyone using their powers in the theme song.
Yep.
And then never again did anyone use their powers in like a very like
only Captain Planet
amazingly-
did. Only Captain Planet ever fucking used it.
Because okay, so hear me out. There's a distinct portion of the Captain Planet theme song animation where Wheeler, the American ginger with the ring of fire, shoots a circle of fire at the asphalt that a van of bad guys, environmental bad guys, mind you, environmental bad guys. Let's get that right. He shoots a ring of like little like wave rings of fire at the asphalt, liquefying the asphalt. Now, mind you, in order to liquefy asphalt, the ring would have to be immensely powerful.
It just the physics don't add up with Captain Planet. Like and
asphalt would never liquefy like this, but it liquefies into like an immediate pool after like 2 seconds of the fire ring, and then the van drives into it and it hardens, and then everybody's stuck. The van can't go anywhere, and they capture all the bad guys.
And this is it, Mike. This is it. Like, this is the problem with Captain Planet. It was all just willy-nilly all over the fucking place, and no one wants to sit down and admit it. No one wants to, like, yeah, you had a banger of a theme song, but the rest of your show was bullshit.
Well, and I think here's the deal. I think you kind of
he's a douchebag too, right? Like he's kind of a jock dude.
He's preachy, and he's a little bit of a he's kind of a jerk because he's like, oh, it's the planet. We gotta look out for the planet. Now here's the thing. I think they went into Captain Planet with like a really cool idea, you know?
Right.
These planeteers.
The intentions are decent.
But I think you run out of actual material to make episodes without like constantly bringing in a new bad guy, and eventually you realize like every bad guy is
remember the
just
big fat
doing
dude? Who was the big
Hoggish
fat
Greedley.
dude? Was that it? The big fat
His name,
dude?
yeah, his name was Hoggish Greedley.
Oh, that's a good bad.
Oh, it's a great bad guy name.
That's a great bad guy name. Yeah.
But again, you realize that every episode is the same.
Yep, every single episode's the same. There's no like developing character arcs where people like learn from things or anything.
Well, but the thing is, they don't
saying
arc
that.
Every episode is complete.
Like rinse, repeat, exactly the same. Yes,
it's you went out. Somebody was having a problem. One of the other Planeteers
am I
conflicted
crazy?
With them.
You're a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan, right? And I do remember watching those cartoons, but I almost like remember it in a way like, and I can't tell you what happened, but I will say that there was like character development amongst like Leonardo getting depressed at one point or something. Like there was like developments and character movement within the show where it was like a sitcom for kids. Like, am I crazy in thinking that, or did I misremember?
I definitely think the turtles like grew as turtle. They kind of grew up as teenagers.
Yeah.
And you see it in the movie too, how they all kind of really develop as individual characters. They all are kind of their own people. The only real thing about the Planeteers that was individuals was like the
Planeteers. Who's the Planeteers?
From Captain Planet.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, those fuckers. I didn't.
So
were
the
they,
only
were they
thing that
actually
was-
called that? Were they called the Planeteers?
Yeah, they were called the Planeteers.
Lame.
But it was like you said, it was pretty rinse repeat in that there would be a problem. The bad guy was almost not even really the problem. The problem was the internal struggle where one Planeteer had an issue and another Planeteer either conflicted with that issue or knew a way to fix it, but the Planeteer that was mad just wouldn't take it.
And it was it was always just like there would be the one, like then he'd have to swoop in and he'd solve everything.
Yeah, and then
Usually.
he'd be like, "Listen here, Planeteers.
Yeah.
Even when you disagree, you can
Yeah, it was
still
gay.
work together."
Gay ass show. Fuck that show. Fuck that show.
But that's what it always came down
Yeah,
to
and
was
then-
like,
and someone got
"Oh,
mad at
we're
me. Someone
missing
got
a
mad at me.
Planeteer."
Someone got mad at me on Facebook, like, because they were just like Captain Planet, like, oh, the show ruled. I'm like, no, but it didn't though. Like the show sucked. Like I hated it as a kid, and like you're wrong. Like go watch it. It sucks. Like it's not a well developed show, and they got mad at me for calling them out about Captain Planet, bro.
Dude, again, you can say that there are so many cartoons where, as a kid, I was like, "Oh man."
I'll tell you this: most episodes of Scooby Doo kind of suck because it's the same show over and over again.
Oh yeah. It's the
But Scooby Doo,
literally the same
Scooby Doo,
show
Scooby
over
Doo
and
is
over and
better.
over.
I would say Scooby Doo better than fucking Captain Planet.
Yeah, I think I liked Scooby Doo a little bit more.
Way more. I would like a little bit more. I'd watch Scooby Doo over Captain Planet if the two were on. I'd choose that.
Yeah, but there are a ton of the shows from that era, like Street Sharks, Biker Mice from Mars.
All right, yeah. Street Shark was that was trash. That was all of those were trash.
All of those shows are just they were, I think, ways to sell toys back in the day.
I think
and
I think it almost has something to do with like my wrestling like fandom. I think wrestling and that like because wrestling was so big, it was very the two were very related in like the go get 'em like like action kind of thing and like on the gimmicks and like I think that like a lot of that stuff was just like basically prepping you to be a wrestling fan, or if you were a wrestling fan, you might like Street Sharks. Like it was kind of all of those things were related to some degree in my opinion, but I don't know.
what do you think the biggest like cross section of wrestling fans is now? Like how if you do you think it's
sports fans,
anime or
no,
sports?
it's sports fans. I'm a nerd because I get so into wrestling that I study numbers of things and I listen to podcasts about the buy rates and things and the marketing deals, and that's how I understand this. And what I can ascertain is that the average football fans don't like it as much as hockey fans and basketball fans do. Okay? So we can do those numbers and figure out when there's a football game on. We can do that number and figure out like how many people would rather watch football or wrestling, right? We can also do that with hockey and soccer, and we can do that with lots of different, sports. What I think has been proven is that you will find that, there is a huge contingency of, yeah, sorry, I think that was totally on my end, but are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm still talking basically about how I do believe that it's kind of been proven that hockey fans basketball fans and soccer fans are bigger wrestling fans than football fans. Which is weird.
Huh.
Which is actually kind of weird because you'd think kind of the other way, right?
I mean, yeah, if you would have said like the basketball and soccer fan there, if basketball and soccer are bigger fans than football, I would understand because like you already have kind of a physical sport in your mix up. You don't really, your other sport can be basketball and if you're a wrestling fan, maybe you don't need another maybe you just want a technical sport. And then in that case, basketball and soccer are both super technical.
Well, the one that's undiscovered that they are really trying to analyze right now is the UFC fan to the WWE fan. And what they have found is that there is crossover, but it's not near as much, I think, as they thought it would be. Because we as wrestling fans, we don't actually want to see someone get hurt, right?
Right.
And UFC fans want to see someone get hurt. So like there's a actual it's almost like a moral compass dissection in a weird way, right? Between the two fandoms. And yet they're owned by the same UFC and is now owned by Endeavor, as is WWE, right? So that's why it's under such a study, and you would think that they would be the same fandom. And there is some. I would even say I'm one of those guys. I can appreciate a UFC fight, but I like it when guys make it look like they hurt and don't hurt each other. I like that more than the other way around, right?
Well, I mean, again, because you can see the value because this guy has to do this again 20 more weeks in a row, whereas you take 6 to 8 months off in between a UFC fight and maybe your next one. Guys at the most extreme end are maybe fighting 3 times a year, probably like a big fight.
On that high level fight. No, yeah,
they're maybe doing 3 fights a year,
and that would be a lot. That would be
you'd be pressed.
Yeah,
it would have to be like January and then June.
I think
December.
twice a year is what the average fighter in UFC is doing for on the highest level.
But you got wrestlers that are putting in 40, 50 days a year.
Oh, more than that. Way more than that with house shows. Like if you're a WWE contracted employee, you are wrestling at it's not like it used to be
100 to 200.
I think you're wrestling about probably 200 days a year. Yeah. 180, 200 days a year. Yeah,
and there's no way you could do that if you were actually getting injured. Like you play it up. If you were actually taking all that combat damage, no way you'd be doing 3 or 4 shows a year, maybe.
Absolutely. Do we want to rapid fire through Mikey's gripe list on his list of topics? Because I feel bad not giving you the chance to talk about these things, my friend.
We got through one of them already, and we can wrap it up. We can do gripes as the very end because it's just a little one.
Sure, we can do that. Yeah. Let's do this.
All right. So first of all, a boon of good news to me, which I needed some. We were cleaning out things to get our cooler made at work. We got an outside cooler now, like a walk-in style one, so that's dope.
Okay, so that helps you out for sure.
That definitely helps me at work, but what helps me at home is in cleaning out the space to get that cooler built. I got a mini fridge and a double lidded sandwich press, like a restaurant grade sandwich press
that you brought home to your apartment.
Yep, and now all I gotta do is
where do you put the sandwich press? You can't have that much counter space.
Oh, we got tons of counter space.
Yeah. Oh wow. My kitchen, I got none. So
you have one counter that's got
that's the worst
a
part
microwave
of it.
on.
I got a big kitchen with no counter space, really.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, if you filled up the rest of your walls with counter,
I have a lot. I have a lot.
So yeah, between I got a mini fridge which is currently cooling down right below my desk. It did make me a little nervous because right on the front of it says this thing uses flammable coolant, so be careful.
All right, yeah.
That's kind of cool. Just to tie it into the work, we'll segue right to between the heat and the rain, we cannot keep the unhoused population off of our front work patio. We had
it's gotten that. But I keep hearing Orlando just getting crazy with the homeless, and I know that that's been like an issue that's been growing, and I do have some sympathy for it. But have you come across? Obviously, it's happening at your work. Have you come across like the Jippos, like the Romas and like that.
Not yet,
because
if
they
are
are
existing.
going about from what I just judging by Orlando's Reddit community and people talking about it. The Romas be here, bruh.
Well, that'd be news to me.
Yeah.
We get a lot of because we still have that methadone clinic down the way from us a little bit.
Yeah, so you get some of that.
We
Yeah.
we still get a lot of those guys who wander around.
Right,
We have
right.
about 4 different guys who are jockeying to mow the lawn at the restaurant. All have come by with their own lawnmowers and all have offered
All
pretty much the
right.
same price to mow the little bit of lawn we have to mow. But we mow it ourselves, so we've just told them like, no, get out of here.
Yeah, we're good.
Because from what I know, once you start with handing out homeless labor,
It never
you
stops.
turn
and
it,
it
yeah, you
only-
turn into like a day labor camp, and people just show up every day like, do you need something? Can we do anything? Can we do this? Can we
Yeah.
clean this?
It starts as a nice like idea. Oh yeah, I mean I need my closet cleaned. Yay, bum, like take out the trash from the thing, and then all of a sudden they're back and hey, I can do this. I can do, yeah.
Yeah, and they just increasingly want
No,
money.
no.
So that's been kind of where we keep constantly try and kind of keep them moving. Like I don't
Sure.
care if it's legit raining and you stop under the overhang, that's fine. But when it stops raining, it's time to
move on.
Time to carry on. Like man,
Yeah.
I'm not a monster, but when the inclement weather clears,
Oh, I'd be
it's time
telling
to-
him. I would be telling him, get out in the rain, get like lightning striking, like get out of here, like
Dude, it happened the other night. We closed at 10. We locked up all the outside furniture, so it's like it's all stacked up. You can't really use it.
Yeah.
We had like it started to rain, and we definitely had like 5 homeless dudes on bikes. All, I mean, we're closed, but they individually they would all come up and like try and open the door. And we're like, yeah, we're closed. They're like, water, and I'm like, we're
No.
closed.
No.
You can't get water now. We're closed.
Yep.
And those are the times where it's like we will wait kind of extra long to leave so we can be like,
Oh, you're too nice.
All right,
Get him
all
out
right,
of
guys,
here.
you gotta go.
No. That's the difference between you and me, Mike. At
So-
Ono Vegan Chicken Shop, I'm kicking
No
up,
homeless.
a lot of curb stomps. A lot of
Ooh.
lot of you get
A lot
you
of
know,
American History X going down.
yeah. Just
hate criming.
We gotta keep our appearances up.
And finally, I would like to gripe about something.
Oh, is this a my gripe? Is this a my gripe?
Yeah. This is my actual gripe for the evening.
Box Squad! Box Squad! Box Squad! Box Squad! Box Squad! Box Squad!
All right, Mike. Here you go.
So, motherfucking vape companies, and I know there are hundreds of you, can you please, for the love of fucking God, label your menthol flavored vapes with menthol? Because it used to be easy. It used to just be if they said ice in the name, you just that was implied that it's
like
gonna have like a menthol.
Yeah.
Not anymore. There are tons of new adjectives that apparently mean menthol, but they're not ice.
Oh, give me a couple of them.
Breeze. I bought a peach breeze.
Oh, it's a
and I was like,
peachy
oh,
menthol.
that's just gonna be like a cool peach flavor. Nope, peach menthol.
And you're not a menthol guy, so when you get a
Dude.
menthol, like it kind of bothers your brains.
Yeah, well, and especially when you buy these like 20,000 puff things that are gonna last a week. So now I gotta
Now you're
smoke a
committed.
week's worth of fucking menthol cigarettes.
man.
Oh, it sucks so much dick.
So you're mad at the labeling convention of vapes that don't give you the knowledge that you're getting the menthol coolness.
Another one, raspberry slush.
Oh,
that one was just gonna be.
Oh, that should not be menthol.
It's raspberry menthol.
Oh man, I like menthol sometimes. I'm puffing on a menthol Views right now. I like the menthol Views.
Well,
but I don't like to be I like to be told that it's gonna be what it is.
Yes, that's what I'm wanting. That's all I'm asking
Yeah.
for. And these fucking vape companies just refuse to follow a naming convention so that I don't buy a bad product.
That's bad news bears, Mike. I can actually relate to you on this gripe. I don't blame you on this one. If I'm getting a beefsteak and it's regular beefsteak and I wanted the menthol beefsteak and it's not labeled correctly, well, I'm gonna be a little bit mad too.
Listen, if you sold me Slim Jim Ice, I would know that's going to be Slim Jim and menthol flavor.
Yeah.
But if you go
How have
Slim
they
Jim
not-
Breeze,
By the way, how have they not done a Slim Jim menthol beefsteak? I bet you
they don't want me to get lung cancer. That's why they haven't yet.
Okay, we'll end with this. We'll end the whole 2.0 with this because I almost bought a pack but didn't, and I can't believe that this has not been discussed on the show yet, Mike. I was at the 7-Eleven today. There was a really annoying person taking longer than they should in the line.
Like they do.
And that gave me a chance to peruse around the I'll grab a bag of this or that, like the
impulse buy.
Impulse thing, yeah. And in my 7-Eleven, right underneath the hot dog rack, there is a chip rack. And it's usually where they sell the 7-Eleven branded chips.
Right.
And they've had
familiar.
And we've discussed some of them before. Some of them, like their roast beef, actually pretty fucking good.
Not a bad chip.
Not a bad chip. Not a bad chip. Today, Mike, they had a limited edition, for a limited time only chip.
Oh.
And I almost bought it, but I couldn't bring myself to the level of trashiness to actually purchase it. It is
what chip is too trashy for you?
Okay, here we go. The hot dog flavored potato chip.
I've had them. They're pretty good.
A 7-Eleven limited edition hot dog potato chip.
They're a great chip.
Are they?
Oh, they're killer chip, man.
Is it really?
A little salty.
Oh.
It's got a little bit of that meaty flavor to it.
Does it taste like bologna? Like, is it a bologna chip?
I mean, it's not far from bologna.
It's a bologna chip.
So what? You like bologna chips.
Oh, man, I was so close to buying that thing.
Dude, chips are some of the worst new flavor things that get me. They're one of the worst culprits of like useless, needless spending for me.
Yeah, I'm going to make myself fatter.
Yeah.
Like,
we used to have to go to iFresh.
I love chips. I love chips. I love chips.
Oh, yeah.
Or
We used to have to go to
crisps
iFresh
if
every
you're
couple
in the
days.
UK. Yeah,
And
crisps.
iFresh is the little Asian market here locally.
Yeah, I know it.
And they have a mega like chip section.
They do?
And I've had crab rangoon chips.
Okay, well, this is interesting that you mentioned this. You're going to go on with your Asian chip selection. I recently just purchased, and it should be here by the end of September, a huge box of a British Walker's meat selection chip variety pack.
What?
Yeah. So we're gonna get some bacon flavored chips. We're gonna get some prawn cocktail. We're gonna get some roast beef, some roast chicken, and some cheese and onion. I believe that's what's coming, and we'll have to do a show, or we eat some chips, my friend.
I want to taste that prawn cocktail chip.
Oh, it's great. Prawn cocktail is one of my favorites. And you can't get it in the States. Like,
Now,
well,
I've had shrimp chips from the Japanese.
it's different though. It's different. It's
Yeah,
totally
I
different.
understand it's different, but I'm gonna say those were a little weird. They're shrimp. They're like
Yeah.
prawn chips from Asia.
Nah, these.
So I'd
you'll
love
like
to see
these.
what the English version of like a prawn.
Well, they're
chip is.
simple. They're like a Lay's potato chip, right? You know, like Walker's is the better Lay's. Walker's, I think, started like, and even if you look at the logo, it's the same logo, right?
I think they're like
They are, but they aren't. Like, it's because of like the separation is the ingredients that they use. They use less bullshit in the British chips than they do in, or crisps, than they do in the American chips, right? Like, and there's different flavors. We have a ketchup flavor.
Okay, so is that kind of like fully dressed a little bit?
I've tried fully dressed, and I think it's close, but not exact. It's in the same world though. Yeah, it's in the same world. They're not too far off.
Canadian do a lot of like the ketchup chip.
Yeah. I think they got that from us. If I'm being honest, like the Brits are the ones that they probably get all that bullshit from us. Anyway, that was a good show, Mike. I think we did a solid 2.0 for the people. They should be happy, right? That we stuck around and we did all of this extra shit for them.
Honestly, happy, I don't think is a heavy enough word. I think grateful.
Grateful
is probably.
Yeah, I think honestly most of our listeners are pretty ungrateful towards us. Like I'm kind of getting sick of it, if I'm being real.
I kind of would like them to show me a little more respect.
Well, money would be nice too. Respect, money, those things would be good. I like
maybe
that.
a little. I could even use a little subservience.
Yeah. Hey, every once in a while I need a new free roof or my lawn done or something. Like how about you just
I need someone to come clean my apartment.
Why are our listeners so lazy? Everyone's so lazy these days.
Nobody wants to work anymore.
No, I know. They're all of our listeners so lazy. Kind of getting tired of it, guys. So if you don't mind, just like pay me. Go to patreon.com/ONRS. There's a donate thing on there. ONRadioshow.com. I think we still got a donate button on there. You should probably hit that and message me and I'll let you know how you give me the money. I got a Venmo. Venmo's good. I got all the apps. You give me the money and then we work from there.
Birthday mukbang.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we do that. We're gonna do a big old bang mucks with the noodles and chopsticks. September 25th. 5th.
Birthday mukbang.
What day of the week is that?
It's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday, guys. So we're gonna do that sometime soon. Also, make sure to tune into us next week because we do have our good friend Matthew coming on to talk about hanging out with humpback whales. I think it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to hear all about it. That being said, twitch.tv/ONRS live, Ono Media over on YouTube, and find us on Facebook. Just type in space radio space show. Just type it in. It'll pop up. Join our group. We love you for doing so. If you want to leave us a message on our phone lines, that's over at 407-906-6466. And of course, buddy, what do we say when we get out of here?
Oh, well, I like to tell them to
eat a bag of dicks.
Eat those dicks. A whole bag. thick flavored crisps.